conceits. You gave me your favorite for years. You know how it is. Now everything seems When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember.
Alright, welcome everybody to the Irish Collegiate Esports Marvin.ie Collegiate Championship. My name is Jason Cardinal Power and I'm joined in the Raid Gaming Studios with Jack Ferex Price. We're very excited. We're going to be bringing you our grand final today, Jack. Are you as excited as I am?
I am certainly very much looking forward to this game. It's the matchup here between UCD Leviathans and TUD Apes, so it's certainly set to be a cracker. Unfortunately, we have had a little bit of an incident where TUD are currently playing 4v5, so one of their players is missing. Hopefully we'll join later on in the game, but we're ready to get into this pistol round. We are already underway, Cardinal, so at the moment it is a 2 versus 1 in favour of UCD.
Okay, so we're going to be hopping into the game right now. Pistol round just finished up with UCD Leviathans taking the 1-0 there. So Incipiens, Mr. Turtle and Evan chiming in with kills of themselves. And that is going to get the first round of the first map underway in this grand final. So a little bit of a logistical error here. We have one player missing, but we're not going to let that stop us. And we're going to get into the second round straight away.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. So Freedom, that's Royal, is going to move straight towards that ramp position. And Incipiens mulling out Beast straight away. But TUD have opted to take some mid-control. Cooler is waiting connector with the Mag 7. Doyle taking that fight, going to get tagged down to 58 HP for his troubles. That Molotov's going to force him out, but he's going to find the kill onto Incipiens anyway. That's, well, I was going to say it's a man advantage, but actually that's going to even us up. 4 men alive for each team now. Ventic making his way up short with that deagle in hand. He is so deadly with this weapon. But Evan, with that FAMAS, is going to catch him out, tag him down to 6 HP, and Cooler is going to chime in to finish him off with the Mag 7. Doyle, next one up, is going to find the trade. So 3 versus 3 still, but Evan fighting away from window is going to eventually find the kill onto Doyle. It's only no fear. And actually only Arak left now. 1 versus 3 and only a P250 to hand. Needs to retrieve this bomb. Could make a lot of noise on short. UC players should hear that. Manages to get by Evan, but Royal, the timing so close there. Nearly managed to catch Arak in the back, but he gets away and picks up a UMP in the process. But Mr. Turtle is perfect positioning from him, waiting on B. Arak shouldn't even get the bomb plant here, and Turtle going to finish it off. The second round for UCD.
Yeah, and one of the things to talk about actually is TUD. One of TUD's kind of star players, Padge, is not going to be in this game. So Doyle, he is the stand-in for TUD, and I believe the player that we're missing from the server is actually extinct. So he must be having a little bit of trouble on his end, but should be into the server as soon as he can. UCD picking up the second round as expected. Coming off the back of that pistol round win, and they're going to buy into this one now as well. Ventake and Co have purchased into this one, so Doyle is just going to be on the scout, but pretty default spread from the T side and the CT side. Not trying to give up anything that they don't need to here, but before the game started, Jack, we were talking about what we were going to expect to see here, and one of the things we talked about was Mirage. This is a really favourable map for both teams, and there's no surprises that they decided to opt into it for the opening map. Now, with that said, already TUD, even though they're missing a man, they've made absolute mincemeat of UCD so far in this round, and all of a sudden, Mr. Turtle is left all on his own with just a UMP to hand. In this first gun round, we can call it. Doyle is going to swap out to the FAMAS, and that's going to be the first round on the board for TUD.
Yeah, finally getting into this game. It's the first gun round and pretty easily taken. Bear in mind, it was a little bit of a bonus round for UCD. Still a fair few SMGs up, but nonetheless, TUD took that one pretty convincingly. 3 players surviving. 3 players out of 4. It's actually, well, we have a chance here, Cardinal, because UCD are on a bit of an eco, so we'd expect them to win this round. But let's take a quick look at the rosters, because we've seen some pretty significant changes for both sides, actually. Missing in this game is Drags for UCD, as well as Ruben, who's been replaced by Cooler and Royal, who is Freedom in the server for whatever reason. But you know, the missing Drags absolutely one of the key players for UCD in this game. Unfortunately, he's not going to be here, so I feel like UCD are definitely going to suffer because of that, because that's their IGL and one of their highest fraggers. You know, missing from this, and Ruben obviously has played with UCD from the beginning, so their team play is going to be lacking somewhat as well. Absolutely, from what I understand, yeah. Cooler and Royal have only played 3 matches as practice in preparation for this game, so really not a lot going for them coming into this game. But no fear is going to finish off the round with 2 kills, so we're back to even footing, Cardinal. But yeah, again, 4v5, and TUD are missing Padge, who was, you know, we did a quick stats analysis just there yesterday, and I mean, he's above and beyond the star player for TUD. 2.4 KD and 1.15 you know, KPR is absolutely monstrous stats for him, but he's not going to be here in this game, so TUD are definitely going to be feeling that.
Yeah, and even though UCD so far, it's a bit kind of strange circumstances, but they do have the man advantage in this 5 versus 4. Missing drags is a huge problem for UCD because he was, as you said, the in-game leader for them all throughout this tournament, and I believe from what we know, Incipiens is going to be taking up that role for them now, considering drags is out of this one. But let's see what they can get done with their 2 stand-ins. Meanwhile, some kills are going to go the way of UCD as Mr. Turtle finds a very easy frag onto Ventake there. No trade potential at all, and now Incipien's going to get one of his own. Aract has gone down. Just Doyle and No Fear left for the T side as the bomb actually still towards mid, and not much utility here to help him out, so he's got to be careful. But they are just going to mosey on back, and Incipiens just spots him out. Not going to be able to find the kill though. No Fear dropped very low, and I think the potential for a bomb plant is kind of gone out the window now here, Jack. And the UCD just happy to sit back. Incipiens with the AK, his 2 teammates, just the Desert Eagles to the name, but 45 seconds left on the clock as TUD start to move down short, and No Fear is going to be first. He's got the bomb on his back. Only 15 HP. He's got to be careful, but finds the kill on Incipiens, who gets caught out. And now all of a sudden, the B bomb site is looking very tempting as the last UCD player remains. Cooler's got a huge job to do. He's going to deny the plant, and all of a sudden now we're down to a one-on-one. Doyle spraying away, and he's not going to find the shots. He's down to 70 HP, so Cooler has him on the ropes, and only 18 seconds left. The bomb is in no man's land, and TUD could have possibly thrown this one away. Cooler is playing it perfectly. He knows he doesn't have much time. Doyle has got to stick this plant if he's going to go for it, and the bomb is going to go down. He is safe for now, but Cooler doesn't want to get too aggressive, but finds the kill anyway. Doyle goes down, and that's going to be an easy defuse for UCD.
That's incredible stuff there from UCD. Pretty much a full eco there. Just a few upgraded pistols, and they somehow managed to make it work. I think TD definitely suffering from that man disadvantage there, and it's given UCD their 3rd round on what was essentially a full eco, so they'll be more than happy to take that one, Cardinal. But 3 versus 2 now, and TUD, the economy isn't really there. No Fear should be able to drop Ventake, but they won't have an awful lot of utility, I don't think. Especially with only 4 men, they're going to be suffering. So they are going to buy their way into this one, but UCD with a full buy of their own. Mr. Turtle picking up the op. And AK brought over for Cooler. And just rifles rest round, and pretty much all the utility they could want. 5 kits as well. So everything they need to make this round possible. But some early mid control going over towards TUD. 3 players out in Ventake now, making his way down mid with the AK in hand. Good mid execute there from TUD, actually smoking off short and window. Essentially gifting them mid control for free. Doyle is going to flash Ventake into connector. No Fear creeping out ramp. Royal is lying in wait, and he's actually not going to find the kill. No Fear, fantastic flick to drop him, and that evens things up. And Aric's following up onto Incipiens as well. Evan is going to manage to claw one back, but there's 2 players here for UCD in CT at the moment. Doyle with the bomb, making his way up now. Going to plant at this triple box. Actually, he's going to plant reverse default, so UCD definitely hunting for this retake. 2 players towards CT and 1 coming in from jungle. That's going to be Mr. Turtle with the op, but actually, as I said, he's going to make his way around to CT. And TD very much now in these post-plant positions. Cooler jumping up on the ticket booth is going to find Aract, and that's going to make this retake so much more possible. Doyle only has 2 flashes, and Ventake no utility at all. They need to make this work, and they need to make it work fast. Cooler getting aggressive with his AK. He needs to do that. Needs to flush out these players. Gonna find the kill onto Doyle just about. It's only Ventake left, and well, Evan is gonna get the defuse in the smoke and actually find the kill onto Ventake at the end of the round. That's gonna hurt TUD. Nothing being brought over for them. They do get the bomb plant, so they should fully go this one, and they'll have a good buy in the next round. But so far, Cardinal, UCD, they're really utilising this man advantage. It's really showing.
They are, and one of the things you touched on, Jack, just at the start of the last round, there was a little point you made that although TUD are not only down a man in terms of firepower, they're also down a man in terms of utility, and that's a full set of grenades every full buy that they're going to be missing out on, and that could really hurt their executes. And on the T side, we know TUD to be very individual players, and they're all really, really skilled, but they do have a lot of team play and coordination in the reviews that we've done before this match today. So, you know, missing that extra bit of utility, their smoke grenades and their Molotovs as they come into each round could be huge, and already it's starting to reflect in the scoreline as UCD are leading the way 4-2 as we come into round number 7. Mr. Charles still on the AWP, and one thing to note for TUD is that although we're not going to see it too much on the T side, is that TUD don't actually have a dedicated AWPer, and they tend to just kind of throw the AWP around amongst themselves, really, whoever's feeling it or whoever has a better spawn, and they don't really have one set primary AWPer that we see on a lot of teams. And for UCD, that is usually either Mr. Turtle or Drags. We'll see Drags pick up the AWP a lot, even though he's not in the server today. Looks like Mr. Turtle is going to be taking the onus upon himself. Meanwhile, with just 45 seconds left, TUD are going for the Hail Mary play here in B apps. One player has pushed all the way out onto the A bomb site, but is going to get dropped, and Mr. Turtle is dropping TUD like flies as Incipiens chimes in to get one. And that's going to be all she wrote for round number 7. So 5-2, Jack, as we get into the next round, and it seems to be the UCD show for now.
Yeah, well, it was certainly the Turtle show on that round, playing around the backside with the AWP. Found himself 3 easy kills to give UCD their 5th round, and I've just received news, Cardinal, that the last TUD player is not going to be connecting. They're just going to play this 4v5, I believe. So
oh my word,
we might see him for a second or maybe even a third map. But at the moment, things looking very, very dire for TUD. And I mean, it's sad to see in the final, but they are going to go for an A hit this round. Doyle tied down to 54 HP pretty quickly. Evan stepping out from under is only going to be good for 1 kill before Doyle drops him. It's a 3 versus 4 now, and Ventic has made his way out to Firebox. So this A site is ripe for the taking for TUD at the moment. All of UCD being locked out by those smokes. Cooler and Incipiens in connector. Doyle's going to go charging through the smoke there on low HP. Not quite sure what he was thinking, giving UCD a free kill. Cooler going to follow up with a second onto No Fear. And Incipiens finishes the job, taking down Ventic. 6th round for UCD now, and things really not going well for TUD at the moment, Cardinal.
No, and while we have the chance here, because it looks like TUD, they are going to probably just maybe get some upgraded pistols coming into this round. We have a couple of minutes to talk about the infamous word that we use on stream, which is predictions.
Oh dear.
And we always make predictions for each and every game, and we always get it wrong most of the time. So, Ferex, what are we expecting here now? If we consider it from 2 points of view, right? We normally consider this a straight up 5v5 where both teams are at full power, but obviously that's not the case here today, and TUD are down a man. So, what difference do you think that's going to make overall in the grand scheme of things in this best of 3?
Well, I mean, you know, we've seen it so far that Doyle with a fantastic shot on Incipiens, but gets traded out. But we've seen it so far in this game already. Is that TUD? I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter how good you are. If you're down a player, you're really going to suffer for it, and it's really showing so far in this game. Like I was coming into this, if TUD were playing 5v5, especially against this very changed lineup of UCD. I feel like they would be dominating this game. The scores would be reversed pretty much. But down a player, you know, they're missing utility, they're missing a man, they're missing so much depth to the plays that they can do. So they're really suffering from it. And I think, you know, it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point as to who's going to win this. But I mean, if they were at 5v5, I would still expect TUD to win it. You know, maybe if UCD had their original lineup with Drags and Ruben, they would definitely have been able to make more of a game of it. But in the initial 5v5, I would have favoured TUD. But at the moment, like you say, it's the UCD show.
Definitely is, and 7-2 already now. UCD putting a really, really nice round buffer ahead of themselves. It's already 1/3 of the way through this first map, 10 rounds in, and TUD players dropping. Doyle did well to get 1 kill, but is there to get traded out now. The round starts to slow down again as the bomb is back all the way in T-spawn, so TUD just trying to maybe make some picks here, but absolutely nothing going their way, and the defense from UCD so far has been rock solid on both bomb sites. Mr. Turtle seems to be their B anchor and is very, very slow on the rotate, I've noticed in a couple of these rounds so far, because he doesn't need to rotate very quickly, knowing they have already a handicap of 1-man advantage coming into every single round, so he can afford to stay on the bomb sites. Maybe a little bit longer than he would normally, but they're definitely making it work so far for themselves in this round, as actually double up setup on the T side. I'm not sure where they acquired those AWPs from, but Ventic and Aract with an interesting setup here, but they're going to see what they can get done. The bomb on the back of Ventic as well with just 23 HP, but oh no, one of them has snuck out, but Ventic's not going to get out, and now it's all on Aract. He's in this Tetris position and he's got an awful lot of angles to look for, but Cooler gets caught on the jump, and now Aract in a 1 versus 4. He's brought it down to 3 men left for UCD, and he's going to make something happen with only 18 seconds left. However, he needs to get this bomb down, and there's a very, very strong setup from UCD. They're covering all the angles, and they know just Aract remaining. They can afford to play the retake situation, but Aract, oh, is he going to expect it? Incipiens is there. Mr. Turtle's going to swing wide, and that's the end of that round, unfortunately. Looked like TUD might have got something done there, but UCD did well to shut it down.
Bit of BM there from Mr. Turtle with the graffiti spray. I'll make it happen. Well, yeah, UCD now A2 very much in control so far. on the CT side of Mirage. And just taking a quick look at the maps, Cardinal, I have the vetoes here. So this is TUD Ape's pick. So first of all, TUD banned Inferno, UCD banned Train, TUD picked Mirage, UCD picked Overpass, and then our last map is Cash is banned. Does 2? I don't know what the last map is. We'll find out for you as soon as we can. But yeah, so after this, we're going to go to Overpass, which is UCD's pick. So given that they're dominating so much,
Is it not actually Nuke, is it?
oh, it could be Nuke.
Is it actually
it's gonna be Nuke or Dust 2 for our third map.
Oh wow, I
Um,
could get my dream.
Oh,
After all this
Magic
time of
Castle
looking
Nuke.
for a Nuke game on stream, we might actually see it, but
would be lovely.
we'll have to see if we're going to go that far, of go the
Yeah,
distance.
I know UCD, Evan and Incipients in particular are fans of Nuke, so it's entirely possible. Incipients swinging out from short here. The man himself gonna take down Doyle. Nice spray with the M4 and 3v5 straight away. Looks like it's going to be an 8-tick from TUD. 3 players out ramp, swarming the site, but the kills are just all going in favour of UCD. Clean sweep for them in this round, not a single player going down. And very convincing stuff. I mean, you know, the aim of TUD just isn't there at the moment. Possibly they're a little bit tilted, being down a man or something like that, but just the kills aren't really going their way these rounds. You know, some of them, 2 or 3 UCD players surviving, but by and large, it's pretty clean stuff for UCD thus far. Double op setup for Turtle and Cooler. Which, going to Overpass after this, you know, given that UCD have been so dominant on this Mirage pick so far, it wasn't even their pick, it was TUD's pick. You would imagine that they'll be even more, they'll be even stronger over on Overpass, which is their pick.
Indeed, and one of the questions I've got for you, Ferex, now as you know, a past player in this tournament yourself, is if you're TUD at this point, and you know, you said it perfectly, that it is very, very tilting to come into a game with already being at a disadvantage. You know, that's something that you never want to see as a player. So if you're TUD, the scoreline is already 9-2, so you've only managed to convert 2 rounds so far, given that man disadvantage in every single round. Do you, as TUD, just forget about this T side on Mirage? Do you just forget about it, just try and aim your way through each round, and then say, well, look, we'll sit back on the CT side and see if we can get something done there?
Well, you see, the thing about the CT side is because you're already down a man, you have to spread yourself more thinly. You know, you can't cover as many angles. I would say it's 100%. It's harder to play 4v5 on CT side than it is on T side, because as soon as 2 players go down on a site, you're already in a 2v5, you know, and that's the site gone. If you have all 5 players, you can cover more angles, you can do this sort of thing. Whereas on T side, you can afford to just swarm a site with 4 players, and as soon as you drop those 2 players, maybe 3 who are playing on a site, it's yours. And retakes are ways. You're like, it would generally be considered like 4v4 situations are favouring the T side. Even 5v5s less so, but you know, still to a certain degree. But that apps aggression from UCD is actually perfectly placed. That smoke and Molotov forcing TUD out of apps, but UCD not going to capitalise on it. Incipients, we've seen him push apps on Mirage before, but not really willing to do it in this round despite that utility usage. But yeah, I would say, you know, TUD really need to be getting more rounds on the C side if they want to have a chance. But unfortunately, it's just not going their way at the moment. UCD, despite being 5-4, completely outclassing them at the moment.
There's a 3-man setup here towards B, actually. They must smell a rat on the TUD side that the final player of UCD has pushed all the way through T ramp, and with no nades or aggression on that half of the map, he is free to gather all the info that he needs. And here comes the push from TUD, and they've got one up. It's on No Fear. Venteg, Doyle and Aract leading the way out with the rifles as one player remains in mid, but it's not going to go his way. Evan finds the kill, and just No Fear left all on his lonesome very, very quickly. That round fell asunder for TUD, and I think, Jack, that's what they need to do. They need to just group up, get together on one side of the map. Maybe in this round they left it a little bit late because they allowed the UCD player to push all the way through T ramp, and he just found all the info for his team, and they could push the B bomb site with ease, and there was absolutely no pressure on them to make something happen. They knew TUD was coming, and they knew exactly where they were coming from. So I think that's maybe the play for them, but with only 2 T rounds left for TUD, there's not really much more they can do, I don't think.
The best they can hope for this point, the rest of this half, is to just group up and hit a site nice and fast, because they don't have the tactical depth that they would have if they had a 5th player. So they just need to, I think, kind of rely on these rush plays to catch out UCD, because they have been playing pretty slow thus far. Incipient's charging through that smoke, so typical of him. A flash from Royal is going to assist him with that kill onto Doyle, and it's just so easy for UCD at the moment. They're playing things absolutely perfectly. The team play, left, right and centre, and everybody's hitting their shots, so they couldn't have asked for a better game.
And now, here comes TUD. They established quite a bit of mid control at the start of this round, but now they focused over towards the A site, but Evan almost finds Ventake as well. Aract, he's left on his lonesome yet again. Oh my god, there's two huge headshots. Evan and Cooler have been dropped. He's going to double up. Can't find the kill on Incipients though, and it just seems too little too late from TUD at this point. At a 12-2 scoreline as we come into the last round of the first half, and UCD have been coasting so far in these rounds, and by all means they have not made many mistakes, if any.
Yeah, you're right. Even when they know they're up this man, but they're not getting overly aggressive in positions. They are still sitting at it and pretty much playing it as if it is a 5v5, which is how they should do because they can't afford to get overconfident. But here's a fast play from TUD now. No fear, straight out ramp, but Cooler with the Mag 7 going to tag him down and find the kill. Cooler, a little bit of BM there with the Mag 7. I think he had more than enough money to buy an M4 or whatever. Not opting for it. He's going to tag down Doyle, and that's just absurd. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. 2 kills with the Mag 7. He is eventually going to go down. Aract and Ventake chiming in with 2 kills. It's 2 versus 2. This is still somewhat doable, but Incipients is on this fast flank. I don't know if TUD are going to expect him to be this fast. I'll slow down a bit. Royal holding here from CT. Easy kill there onto Aract, and he's going to find the planter as well. Ventake, a little bit of a mistake there to stick the bomb. 13-2 at the half, and looking at the scoreboard there, Cardinal, it's Cooler leading the way for UCD. He's one of their subs, and Evan not too far behind on 12 frags, and well, it's a much more sad story for TUD. No fear, the only man with above 10 frags.
Yeah.
So coming into the second map now, Overpass. This is UCD's pick, or sorry, the second half. Excuse me. Given how dominant UCD have been on the CT side, and we discussed previously about how CT side is more difficult when you're playing 4 versus 5. So I would expect a pretty swift T side here from UCD.
Yeah, well, we're going to be seeing it quite soon now. 13-2 scoreline, and what's interesting is actually one of the stand-ins for UCD is leading the way in terms of frags. So maybe it's something that they've kind of concocted over the last couple of games that they've had in practice, or maybe they've just told their 2 stand-ins, look, just go and play with the game you want to play, and if it works out, it works out. But it's been working so far. 13-2 scoreline, and we are going to be getting into the pistol round now just a second. As the players are buying up their equipment, we see a couple of purchases coming through already. So Kevlar across the board for the CT side, and just Mr. Turtle with the smoke and the 2 flashbangs. So maybe they have some sort of T-side strategy planned out, and we're going to see that come to fruition now in just a second as we get into the second half of the first map in this Marvin.ie Collegiate Championship Grand Final. So TUD spread across the map. Actually, they've left no one on the A bomb site, recognizing that they are at that disadvantage, and they decided maybe to just play that retake situation if it does come up. But oh, the first kill going the way of Aract. Mr. Turtle, very aggressive, but he does actually manage to keep Aract all the way on the B bomb site. And now, oh my word, this stack from UCD, all these players poised towards CT, and oh no, the TUD player Aract is going to be on the receiving end of it. 3 men watching the one angle. Aract, he spots one, but is he going to expect more? And he's just turned the corner, and that's the third kill this round for him. Oh no, this is falling apart for UCD, and there's the pistol going the way of TUD. That's exactly what they needed if they wanted to give themselves any kind of chance in this second half.
That's incredible stuff there. I mean, 4 players in for UCD in CT, and they were all looking towards side for some reason. Aract was able to step out and get 3 free kills in the end, and I don't know why. They could have easily just had 2 players facing towards side and 2 players facing towards CT, but Evan was getting shot in the back. He had no idea what was going on. It was an easy kill for Aract, and that's going to be their first CT round on the board, and UCD going to be forced back. And look at this buy from them. 5 HE grenades and 1 smoke, so looks like we might see some sort of nade stack towards the middle. It looks like, I can imagine what's going to happen here. Somebody's going to smoke window, or maybe I'd shorten. They're going to 5-man nade in window, and Doyle is going to be on the receiving end of this, I think. But he's playing this quite passively on the left side of the window. So there's the smoke, and now here comes the nade stack, and Doyle, is he going to be? He is,
no.
But no fear. Actually, he's got to get down 3 before he's dropped, and Doyle, he actually fell back from window at just the right time there, avoiding that nade stack. 59 HP nonetheless, but Incipients picks up that AUG from No Fear, and this is where this 4v5 comes into play, because even though TUD have found 3 kills, excuse me, they're still only 1 man ahead, and Doyle, actually, as I said, that is going to drop Incipients and the bomb, so it's only Cooler left, and Doyle with the Ferrari peek there out in the middle is going to take him down with the P250, and TUD, continuing their winning streak so far on the CT side, but here comes the bye now from UCD Cardinals, so this is going to be the real test.
This is an extremely important round for both teams. If UCD pick this up on the first gun round with the man advantage, they're going to put themselves in the driver's seat to just take this map, game, set and point. Meanwhile, TUD on the other hand, they haven't got a full buy coming in here. Doyle has opted to stick with the Scout Ventake, similarly with the FAMAS. So they don't have absolutely everything they'd like coming into this round, but they're going to have to make it work, because otherwise they could be staring down the barrel of defeat very, very quickly on the first map here. And UCD know this, and they can afford to sit back and just let the clock burn down.
Yeah, so here comes the execute from UCD now. 4 players going out rampant, 1 in Palace Cooler. Lurking towards underpass, not going to be able to find the kill onto No Fear. That's a big mistake there. Ventake pushing through that smoke bench is going to find one before he's dropped, and it's a 3 versus 3 now, but 2 of the UCD players are very, very low. Evan going to plant here on triple box. That's so dangerous. That spam nearly taking him down. Incipien's going to get boosted up here onto stairs. I don't know if No Fear is going to expect this. He nearly finds the kill, but Incipien's gets the headshot. It's a 2 versus 3 now. Again, 2 of the UCD players are still solo, so this is very doable, but Evan waiting for Ark to jump on that box. He's going to find the free kill, and it's only Doyle left with only a scout to hand. Could be able to pick up that AUG, but he's going to find the kill with the P253 smoke. Evan gets dropped, and looks like he is going to go for this. He does have a decent amount of utility, and he has a kit as well, you're right, but is he going to be expecting Mr. Turtle to be so close behind this? He's not. He does find the kill, but eventually Turtle takes it down, and that was too close for comfort there, Cardinal, for UCD.
That was very, very close, and if Mr. Turtle had been any lower there, that would have even opened him up to being a one-shot potential with the Scout, but oh, that was a very, very close round. UCD do manage to clinch it just at the very end, but TUD now is scratching their heads. They invested an awful lot into the last round, with No Fear actually buying into the last round, having died in the previous round, so he's just going to be stuck with the Desert Eagle this round. Now we see 2 SMGs and the 1 rifle on Doyle, with it all to play for before they put themselves on match point. UCD 14-4 so far. We're only 19 rounds in, and that man advantage is definitely playing a huge part in this game so far, as we come towards what could be the last couple of rounds, Ferex. And already Arak tagged down quite low. He's only on 56 HP, but ooh, 2 kills going the way of TUD. No Fear and Ventake with those SMGs putting them to work, but even though they've picked up 2 frags, it is still 3 men apiece, so the bomb site has been established by UCD. Incipiens with that advanced position is going to take out No Fear before he can get any more work done in this round. And now it's all on Doyle and Arak. Arak, if he can catch out Incipiens here, he'll be doing well, but it's not going to go his way. Incipiens triples up and gets his 3rd kill of the round. So far taking down every TUD player and make that 4. We'll give him the ace for that, I think. Only 4 men on the team, so that is going to be the single-handed ace for Incipiens. Let's put him on match point.
4 kills for an ace. It's not an ace.
But 15-4 as TUD now stare down the barrel of match point, and if we even want to see an overtime, they have to win the next 11 rounds in a row, which is looking, at this point, Ferex, I think it's safe to say this is looking very, very unlikely that they're going to make anything of this. But UCD, on the other hand, more than confident. Mr. Turtle has picked up the AWP on the T side as well, but at this point in the game, I think both teams are just going to be looking to the next map and trying to reset and see what they can get done. Already 1 opening kill going the way of UCD. Evan's going to find that, and he's going to make it 2. Finds the 2nd kill. Mr. Turtle picking up a frag with the AWP as well. And now Arak left all on his own. Just some Kevlar, a helmet, and a deagle, and a dream, which is going to get shattered as Incipiens picks up the last kill, I should say, of the map. So that is going to be 16-4 in favour of UCD, and that's going to be map 1 going to UCD. So
this is just, it's so backwards, Cardinal. Everything we expected, you know, it's exactly like I said. Yeah, our next map is going to be Overpass. So, but it's exactly like I said, you know, every time I make a prediction, gone out the window. I was saying before the game I was expecting TUD to win this, but they've turned up with 4v5 and their best player gone. So, I mean, it's UCD's game to lose at this point, to be honest.
It really is, it really is. And one of the things we discussed in private yesterday was the fact that TUD were just going to, you know, have a very, very easy series on their hands, but that has been thrown out the window now, I think it's fair to say. And that man advantage is really, really changing the dynamic of TUD's team. We've never seen them play like this before, and honestly, they don't look like the same team at all that we've seen them from their entire tournament run. They didn't drop a single map in the entire tournament.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So that's going to be one thing that we're going to have to look forward to in Overpass, which is going to be our next map, which we're getting into now in just a second. We're just waiting for the players to join the server and get ready for the pistol round. But we have a little bit of time, I think, to break down that map and see if there's anything we can maybe kind of extract from the statistics or the analysis. But at the same time, you know, I am weary that it was such a rollover that there's not really much to talk about, I don't think, Ferrex.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when UCD played TUD back in the group stages, TUD absolutely decimated them on catch. It was 16-4, I think, and UCD just really seemed to have no reply to both the T side and the CT side of TUD. You know, they were left constantly floundering in every round. But I mean, it's just so reversed in this game. It's really unfortunate that the finals have come to this. But I mean, Mirage there, you know, I mean, an awful lot of teams were just straight up banning it against UCD before, especially in the group stages, because UCD were so good on it, and you know, it really showed there that even with two subs, they were able to make it work. Like a team with the caliber of TUD, you'd expect them to at least put a few more rounds than 4 on the board. But they just weren't able to get anything done in that game, and I think it was showing just how comfortable UCD are on Mirage. And I mean, now coming into Overpass, looking forward, this is their pick, so they clearly have some sort of prep done for it. I know Mr. Turtle is a huge fan of Overpass. He's always looking to play it, and most of the UCD players are pretty comfortable on it as well. So you know, I would imagine they're feeling very, very confident coming into this one, especially against TUD, who are missing Page and a second player.
Indeed, yeah. Missing 2 out of their regular 5 starting lineup is absolutely devastating for the team, but we'll have to see what they get done on Overpass. So we are going to throw it to a quick break for just a couple of seconds as the players get readied up and we get sorted into the pistol round of map number 2. Just before we go, I would of course like to thank our sponsor, Marvin.ie. All this wouldn't be possible without them, and also the Rage Studios for having us here today for the broadcast. So we're going to jump to a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment with map number 2.
Thank you very much. Welcome back from that break. We are back and we have some fantastic news for you, which is that the 5th TUD player has connected to the server. So we are going to see a 5 versus 5 on Overpass here. Now, I can imagine that given this is UCD's pick and that TUD aren't really playing at their best regardless, we should still see a win for UCD. But again, Caster's curse, I'm probably going to be wrong.
Most likely, yeah, most likely. I'm just going to go out and make the complete opposite prediction to what you've made, because then one of us has to be right. I mean,
No,
that's one of us
that's
has to
fair
be right.
enough, yeah.
So Extinct has actually joined the server, and we're going to get into the pistol round right now. It's absolutely amazing that he's managed to make it into the server and we have him in game. So we do have a 5v5 for the second map, but most importantly, this is UCD's map pick. They could take this series 2-0 if they play their cards right, but TUD maybe a little bit revitalized now that their lineup is back in full force. We'll have to see what happens here as we come into the pistol round. It's going to be a fast contact play on to the B bomb site, but oh no, Aract and Doyle. Doyle's going to double up actually and find 2 kills. Now just one player left, Cooler, all on his own very quickly. This round seem to have gone by in the blink of an eye, Ferrex.
Yeah, well, that's both T-side pistols lost by UCD now. Gustav Doyle, nice flick there to take down Cooler to close out the round. All 5 players for TUD staying alive. And something tells me those pick and predictions are a little bit off, but we'll go with it anyway. But yeah, coming into this now, so 5 versus 5, like say Cardinal, TUD, it's entirely possible that they're going to be revitalized, etc., etc., and they're going to take that pistol round with no trouble whatsoever. And it's going to put UCD just back onto a few pistols, Evan with the P250 and Turtle with the CZ75, and looks like they're going to put 5 men down connector here and try and split out onto a site, but Doyle in short water with the MP9. He should hear any footsteps here in Con. Timing nearly gets away. He's going to find one, but gets dropped by Cooler. Extinct is there to help him out though, taking the trade. It's a 2 versus 4 and Extinct doubling up, taking down Evan. It's only Turtle left with the CZ. He could find No Fear here. He's running along with his pistol out. TUD. No Fear actually is going to find that kill nonetheless. So convincing round once again for TUD. Only one player going down, but UCD now should be on the buy. Actually, they might opt for one more. You can know they're going to buy into this one. So AKs all round and a good amount of utility as well. We're just going to see if Cooler could opt for a glass cannon attempt. So he's not going to do that. Going to pick up an AK. So 5 AKs for UCD, and you know still a few SMGs and less than favourable rifles for TUD, so UCD have a pretty decent chance of taking this round if they play it right, Cardinal, but we're going to see what TUD can make of it. No Fear taking that initial contact towards mid and is going to fall back, so what are we expecting?
Yeah, so what I'm expecting is that Extinct missing for the first map. I hope he's going to be warmed up, so I'm expecting a big performance from him to make up for his absence in map 1, so he's going to be one to watch over on the TUD side, but UCD are really, after giving themselves a fighting chance here, albeit kind of unorthodox method of doing so, but they are going to be one up in the series. TUD, on the other hand, are going to be hoping to shut down this map pick and snipe away Overpass from UCD. Already in this round, just a little bit of damage been traded back and forth, some utility being used by both sides, but it is a pretty default spread, and the T side is very spread out across the map as kills being traded back and forth. Aract picking up a frag, while no, he's actually going to go down, and that's two kills going the way of UCD. Or sorry, 1 kill going the way of UCD. I'm all mixed up now myself, as we're down to a 5 or 4 on 3, as Mr. Turtle, Royal, and Evan are left alive on the T side, and they're going to bring this hit onto the A site, but there's plenty of TUD players in wait. No Fear, no problems, as he's going to go down now. Doyle has gone down as well, and all of a sudden this take of the bomb site is going to go all in favour of UCD. Mr. Turtle dropped to 4 HP, but he is still alive. Evan there to back him up. He's got the rifle in hand as well, and there's a gap in the smoke. Oh no, Ventake is going to get spotted out, and Evan makes it happen. There's a 4K for him, so that's a huge round for UCD to pick up.
Evan saying, yeah, I've had enough here. I'm taking this A side, and take that A side he did. Fantastic 4 kills there from him to bring UCD into this game, putting their first round on the board, and the economy just isn't there for TUD. They are going to actually buy their way into this one anyway. Some upgraded pistols, Extinct managing to pick up an M4 with a little bit of money to spare, so actually somewhat of a force buy here, around 2k left on each player. Incipien's going to Molotov, I believe, that short position, so we might see something of a B play coming out here. The bomb and 3 players over towards Monster at the moment, but Extinct getting aggressive is going to catch out Freedom and Incipiens. And this round almost just like that, especially with Arc and Extinct still going, finding up a 3rd kill. This round is just gone, you know, 25 seconds in, and it's only Evan left in a 1 versus 4, and everything going in favour of TUD at the moment, and this is what we were expecting to see. Oh, fantastic flick to drop Evan. and an almost clean sweep there for TUD, and this is what we were expecting to see before this game started, Cardinal. This is what we wanted to see from TUD. It's exactly like you said, the appearance of Extinct has revitalized this TUD side, and they're completely tearing apart UCD at the moment.
And this is the TUD that we all know, and this is the dominant TUD that we've seen throughout the tournament, not dropping a single map. So they are definitely back in action, and they're going to take this round and this game with both hands if UCD are going to let them. But I think that's fair to say it was a little bit of a blunder from UCD in the last round. They didn't have any smoke or Molotov down towards Monster to actually hold back the push from Extinct, and that's going to net him 3 of the easiest kills that he's going to take every day of the week if he's allowed to. Already more kills going the way of TUD. Just a couple of pistols on the side of UCD, however, so they're not, after investing too much into this one, they're going to be happy to just maybe inflict a little bit of economic damage if they can. Incipiens and Mr. Turtle with the 2 Desert Eagles remaining, and the bomb is on the back of Mr. Turtle. So best case scenario here is a bomb plant for UCD, but with this spread across the map from the CT side on overpass, it's looking very, very unlikely, and they are going to slowly close the vice on UCD as they try to smell them out, and they're going to get very close, no fear, and Incipiens could come into contact very, very soon, which could be fatal for No Fear as he's only on 17 HP, but Mr. Turtle's going to go down and drop the bomb, and that's going to be all she wrote. Incipien's now caught in between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place is going to be Doyle, but he's going to go down, and Ventake there just to trade him out so it doesn't get too out of hand. Just the 1 rifle lost for the side of TUD, but UCD at least picking up the 1 kill to inflict a little bit of economic damage.
Yeah, well, TUD have had a very strong start to this game on the CT side of overpass. You know, it is a little bit of a CT sided map, fast rotates between the sites and that sort of thing, but 4-1, and the complete dominance they've shown so far is somewhat indicative of things to come, I think. But the money is there for UCD to buy into this one, so 5 AKs, fair set of utility. And TUD starting to wake up now, and that's not something you want to see. Doyle going to get aggressive in Monster there with the AK. Evan fighting towards middle with No Fear. Gonna win that fight. Fantastic step out there. Sidestep to take down No Fear. Good headshot from him, and it's a 4 versus 5 pretty early on in this round, excuse me. And now UCD, they're going to slow things down a little bit. They know they have the man advantage. They're going to wait for TUD to spread out. It's certainly the right call in this situation. They know TUD are more than capable of bringing this back, so they're going to play it pretty safe. Mr. Turtle holding, looking towards party. Gonna Molotov. I think that's going to go in towards bathrooms. Extinct watching this short position with an M4. No utility to hold off any push, though, should have come through. But yeah, UCD slam the brakes on now. They're going to slow things down, wait to see if TUD go hunting for any information. But at the moment, TUD, we said it in the pre-game, Cardinal, that TUD, they have an insane amount of individual skill, but they are still very, very structured and very, very calm as a team. So I don't think they're going to give anything up to UCD anytime soon.
Definitely not. But this is very disciplined play from UCD. They took the first opening kill and then sat back and waited for TUD to make a mistake. And when that push didn't come from TUD, they've let the clock run down. Knowing they have the man advantage, they're happy to do so. And here comes the hit onto the bomb site. Evan is going to get his 2nd kill of the round. That's Extinct, has been deleted from the server. And Cooler, you can't do that. Doyle has been taken out as well. Now Aract manages to pull one back, but he's left all on his own. He's got the AWP in hand and he's going to swing out.
Oh.
And Cooler is going to put a stop to that before anything can happen. So there's a 2nd round on the board for UCD, and that was some very, very clean play from them.
And it feels like at the moment that any rounds UCD are winning is kind of 1 or 2 players going off. I mean, we saw Evan with the 4K in the previous round that they won, and Cooler just got 3 kills there, and Evan shot me in with 2 as well. So, but again, they are still playing very, very well. They did well to not get ahead of themselves when they found that initial man advantage. They sat back, waited for TUD to push, and eventually they caught Ventake pushing out from connector, and Ventake sitting in short water by himself. So even that take, they were pushing in from connector and Monster at the same time. So well played there by UCD. Ventake is going to have the op in this round, so TUD have bought their way into it. Trying to do the best they can with the somewhat limited weaponry that they have. Aract only sitting on an MP9. But UCD now have managed to establish water control, and Cooler is going to spot out Ventake on short. Ventake not able to connect the shot. So UCD slowly making their way through the map here, taking map control bit by bit, and that's exactly what we want to see from them. Incipiens, though, is not going to be looking towards short. Going to get dropped by Extinct, so UCD are going to take short control, but at the cost of a player. Evan is going to flash Turtle into long. Turtle with that AWP in hand. The perfect man to be fighting this long position, and full long control now established by UCD as well. They know that the AWP is over towards the B site, so it makes sense for them to go back towards A, and that's exactly what Kulu's going to do. Picks up the bomb in T-spawn, and Royal making his way up through connector. Looks like we're going to go for an A finisher. There are 2 players from TUD, I think, lying in wait. It's Aract and No Fear. No Fear could possibly be in heaven, but it's just Aract jumping around.
Oh, he gets spotted out actually. He
He's
just,
gonna get
the
spotted.
shoulder peek.
Turtle not able to connect that shot, but it's 20 seconds left on the clock. UCD need to move fast, and that Molotov actually is not going to fall. Aract has it all to do. No Fear is here to help him, playing from truck, and he's going to find 1 kill onto Evan with the
Just 10
headshot, and a
seconds.
second one. Ventake is going to chime in, and Turtle finally finding Aract, but the bomb still hasn't gone down, and Ventake is going to drop with the AWP, and it's all going wrong for UCD now. Ventake, fantastic hold with the AWP, 3 kills for him, and it all fell apart for UCD. They left it too late. They didn't have time to clear out that side, and Ventake just absolutely tore them apart with the AWP there. 3 kills for him in that round, and that's disastrous for UCD Cardinal.
And what was noticed there was Aract was actually playing behind the bomb site, and the Molotov that I think Mr. Turtle threw completely missed its mark, and that would have flushed him out of that position. Just the SMG in hand, it would have been a very easy kill. That could have been a very different round altogether. It's such a small error on the side of UCD causes a knock-on effect that affects the whole round, and now they are looking at a 5-2 scoreline. And in the 8th round, they are looking at the man disadvantage as well, as Royal has been taken out by the AWP on Ventake. We talked about this on Mirage. We didn't see it a whole lot. That TUD don't really have a primary AWPer. They don't have a sniper that will pick up the AWP every single time he can. And we've seen Ventake play with it already in this map. We've seen Aract pick it up. I think we even saw No Fear pick it up at one point earlier at the start of the game. But Ventake obviously feeling it this time. And TUD are going to put themselves in a position now to just sit back and play their default angles and let UCD make the call.
Yeah, and it looks like the call is going to be towards B. 3 players in connector are going to bust out into the short water position any second. Incipient's going to flash over, and here comes the take. There's nobody there for TUD to contest it, though. They've just completely fallen back. Decided to hold the site. 40 seconds coming up now. UCD need to make the call. They're going to flash themselves to the smoke. Doyle sprays down 1, but not before Turtle drops No Fear, but Doyle still fighting away. Drops Incipients, and it's only Evan left on site, and every angle is being covered at the moment.
Oh, Evan!
Evan finds 3 kills before eventually Extinct takes him down, but that was so close there. Evan spinning around in the site, going to find himself 3 kills. That's incredible stuff there. It's huge economic damage done as well, but that was so nearly nuclear from Evan Cardinal.
Evan did it earlier in the game, and he's almost after doing it again, but unfortunately can't go all the distance, and the last TUD player is there to mop him up, but very, very dicey towards the end of that round, and that's kind of a little bit uncharacteristic from TUD, where normally their bomb site holds are very, very clean and efficient, but obviously some angles had been lacking in that hold. Evan almost there to exploit it, but with just this round now, a couple of upgraded pistols for the T side, it is looking like we might be looking at a 7-2 scoreline for TUD, unless a miracle comes through from UCD. But all throughout this tournament, we've seen the power of these upgraded pistols, especially the Desert Eagle. And oh no, here we go. Mr. Turtle is going to find himself a rifle. The FAMAS now has been picked up, and that's going to be the player in connector dropped for TUD. So now UCD can swarm the rest of the bomb site, or the rest of the map, I should say, as they've opened up that position. Evan going to get a kill of his own. Now Mr. Turtle and Evan left alive. He's going to salvage the AUG as well now. If he gets away with this, the timing's going to be everything. But there is a player coming up long, and oh, Evan is going to find him, but there's actually no players for TUD left on the bomb site, and if they move quickly enough, they're going to get complete control. But they've so many angles to check. Mr. Turtle, what are you doing? You should not be looking there. Expected to push and smell the rat coming from behind, but are they going to expect the second one? Ventake all on his own in the 1v2. He's got his M4 in hand and 1 flashbang. He's got the defuse kit, so he doesn't have to rush. But oh no, are they going to expect the push from long? Ventake has to check everywhere. Both players positioned in bathroom, and oh no, Ventake, the lineup could be coming through, and it is! Oh, Ventake takes Mr. Turtle and Evan out. That was a huge blunder from UCD.
That was incredible stuff.
That was a brilliant retake from Ventake, though we can't take that away from him. And it's going to be the 7th round for TUD.
That was fantastic stuff there from Ventake. He walked the whole way up along, and he knew that he couldn't afford to just tap the bomb and wait for UCD to come to him. So instead, he went to them and was absolutely rewarded for it. 2 free kills, both players looking towards bathrooms, and well, he gave TUD their 7th round. And I mean, UCD, you know, they still did very, very well to get it into a 2 versus 1 and get the bomb down, but not quite able to convert it at the end. But that bomb plan is going to give them a decent amount of utility in this round. They're going to go for a fast B play. I think 5 players rushing towards their bomb as well, and there's 3 players here for TUD waiting, but the kills are ringing in. It's going to go in favor of UCD. 2 players for TUD being dropped. It's only Doyle left using a 26 HP. That Molotov is going to flush him out. He's just about going to get away with 10 HP, but I mean, the UCD player is not faring too much better in terms of HP. Both players, or excuse me, 3 players are very, very low, and all 4 players realistically sitting at less than half HP, so this is still entirely doable for TUD. Unfortunately, no damage dealing HE grenades available for them, but Doyle going to swing out and nearly converts the kill onto Mr. Turtle, just about steps away, but Eric finding that kill from heaven, and Doyle finally finding one, and No Fear spraying down, and he's just running and spraying with that AUG. And I mean, UCD, the health just wasn't there for them in the end to hold that retake. I mean, they didn't have very good post-plant positions. All 4 players were towards Monster. They really should have tried to push forwards towards, you know, maybe short or under heaven, but unfortunately not going to be able to happen, and TUD going to mop up that round in the 3 versus 4, and fantastic stuff there from them. And yeah, we're just going to take a quick look at the scoreboard real quick. Evan leading the charge for UCD, 12 frags for him, fantastic stuff so far. It's much more structured on TUD. I mean, we have 2 players on 10 frags, 1 player on 11. You know, they're much more bunched up, but UCD, complete mess at the moment, but that's going to be that.
And Evan leading the way with 12 frags. He has been really putting in the work so far on the T side, and he's going to make it happen again. There's another kill going the way of UCD. No Fear is going to be on the receiving end of that AK-47, and he's going to pay for it with his life. Now the man advantage in favour of UCD. But some decent damage being dealt across the board now. Royal and Evan both dropped quite low, but not going to let them hold back in the rest of this round as they desperately try and put a couple more rounds on the board while they have the chance on the T side. We are into round number 11 already, so if they want to give themselves a fighting chance on the CT side of Overpass, their map pick as well, they definitely need to start putting in the work over on the T side. 8-2 already, but UCD now setting up for this long push, as actually one of the TUD players is rotating back, I think, towards B. No, he's actually come up onto the site near Optimus, and here comes the hold, but Aract is burning in the fire, and damage being dealt across the board to UCD. They're all so low. Doyle picking up a double with the AWP. Now Cooler, he's going to trade one back, but Mr. Turtle is left all on his own with just the AK in hand. 38 seconds left, so there's plenty of time, but he doesn't have the bomb, and he's got to make something happen here. The TUD players now know where he are, and he's going to push him. Oh, Extinct with the scout to the face. He's going to take him out, and that's going to be 9-2 now for TUD. And they've really started to put a huge round buffer between themselves and UCD.
TUD starting to run away with it at this moment in time. I mean, UCD realistically need to win these last few rounds. You know, for a 9-6 half would be decent enough. Maybe even 10-5 for a T-side and Overpass. But at the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything. No Fear has managed to buy a Bison in this round. An interesting call from him. Could have bought a UMP possibly, or Aract or Extinct could have even dropped him, but he picks up the Bison. I don't know if the TUD are expecting the buy from UCD in this round, because there's 4 AKs and a Galil for UCD at the moment. But Evan spraying through that wall there is going to give it away. No Fear might be quaking a little bit in his boots. That nade is going to get sunk onto Evan, dropping him to nearly half HP. It's going to be the beat take coming out here for UCD. Cooler charges the smoke, going to find the entry onto Extinct, but Mr. Turtle with the team kill is going to give TUD the free trade, and kills just lighting up the scoreboard at the moment. We're left in a 2 versus 2. Evan and Freedom, the only men left for UCD against against Doyle and Aract, but the HP for them is so low, and that Molotov on the bomb side is going to slow down that little bit. It's going to allow Aract to push in from short, finds the first kill. Will he be able to find Evan? Gets him through the smoke, and Aract coming in huge there to close out the round for TUD, 10-2, and that round, I mean, that was so messy. All the kills coming through in Monster there. But in the end, 2 TUD players were left standing, giving them their 10th round so far on this Overpass map.
And it seems like in these rounds, it's either Evan going off and just murdering everyone coming into the bomb site, or UCD seem to fall apart. And uncharacteristically, some of the big name players like Incipients and Mr. Turtle have been notoriously quiet in this game so far. Evan doing all he can to give his team a chance, but sometimes your best is just not enough, especially when you're coming up against TUD, who are definitely looking much more on form in this map number 2 than they have been on Mirage. But Evan yet again, there's a beautiful shot with the Desert Eagle to take out Ventake, and we trade it back. Actually, no, Mr. Turtle is going to pay for Evan's sins as he gets dropped by the USP. It's a very quick round for TUD, and now...
TUD, yeah, the disrespect is starting to come in, Cardinal. I mean, we've seen no fear there with the Negev.
Oh my word, the Negev.
And he had a Bison in the previous round, so he's stopped caring. I think they know that this map is pretty much out of UCD's grasp at this stage, 11-2, and if TUD continue their current form, we're probably going to see a 13-2 at the half, which is ironic because 13-2 was the scoreline that we saw in Mirage for UCD on their T side, so, or on their CT side, excuse me. So
a complete reversal.
Complete role reversal here, yeah. So yeah, that fifth player, I mean, Carl, was such a huge factor for TUD in this game. It's really woken them up, I think. But Cooler, great shot there onto Arc to drop him down with help from the flash from Mr. Turtle. It's a 4 versus 5 pretty early on in the round. UCD now going to start making their way up towards A, it looks like. Doyle with the op over on B. Not going to find anything. Cooler taking so long to find the kill onto No Fear, but eventually, does drop him, but Extinct still fighting. 3 kills in connector. I don't know what's gone wrong there for UCD. Spinning around left, right, and center and finding every kill he could ask for. Send more, he says. That smoke a little bit too late to extinguish the fire, but UCD going to Molotov themselves out of position, looks like. Extinct not quite dodging the flash, still managing to stay up. He's going to step out and find his 4th kill of the round, and Doyle chiming in with one onto Incipiens is going to close it out to Extinct. The player who was missing for TUD in the previous map, coming in huge there to hold off that buy from UCD.
He's actually leading the way for kills on the side of TUD, and we said it earlier on at the start of the game that, you know, we needed a big performance from Extinct considering he was missing from the last map, but he has definitely come out all guns blazing so far in map number 2, and if trends are to be believed, it looks like TUD are going to snipe away this map pick on Overpass, but as we all know, anything can happen, and anything is still yet to happen as we have the last round of the half. Evan does it again with the 1 tap onto Extinct. He really favours that shoulder peek at the start of the round, and Evan has been playing with so much confidence, even though it doesn't reflect in the scoreline. He's been really leading the way for UCD. They're going to try and maybe make it 12-3 if they can for the half. TUD actually down a man yet again. So we've seen this quite often so far with the CT side, that they do tend to go a man down, but manage to convert it and bring it back anyway. But UCD going to aggress down long as one player lurks towards bathrooms, and Ventake is there to try and hold him off, and he does. Cooler goes down. Now we're down to a 4-on-4. Here comes the push, but No Fear is on a huge flank, and the Molotov as well is going to stop him from pushing. No Fear picking up a lovely triple kill, and that's going to be the half. 13-2 in favour of TUD as they take the first half of the map, and I hate to say it, Ferex, but this is looking like a very, very grim scoreline for UCD.
Yeah, not good at all for UCD. I mean, it's like we said, you know, that 5th player for TUD has just completely turned things around. They're so much more confident now. UCD, it seems like, you know, they're just panicked. They don't have the structure that we saw that they had on Mirage, and indeed in previous games before this. They're just, everybody's kind of running around like headless chickens. There doesn't really seem to be much strategies coming on. And, you know, we saw in a few rounds where they got the initial pick and then just fell back and held for any TUD aggression. But beyond that, you know, everybody just seems to be kind of doing their own thing, and there's not really an awful lot of structure going on. So I feel like somebody in UCD at the moment needs to take the reins and, you know, be strong and say, here, look, lads, let's do this, and give them concrete calls to work off of, because at the moment everybody's just running around. It seems like they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's a very puggy deathmatch style game so far, where everyone is just tending to do their own individual plays. And even having a look at the scoreboard there just at the end of the round, Evan is sitting at 17 frags, which is more than the rest of his team combined. So a huge solo effort from himself, but can't take it away from TUD. They've just been a completely different team in this map, and it reflects in the scoreline of 13-2. That is going to bring us into the next pistol round. Mr. Turtle with just the defuse kit on the CT sides as we've swapped over. TUD going to chance their arm at the T side. 5 sets of Kevlar across the board. Just going to opt for the Glocks. But this is a very important round for UCD to win if they want to give themselves any kind of a chance. And already it started to unravel as Extinct and Mr. Turtle are trading kills back and forth. No Fear is going to go down. Extinct is going to find another one and make that 3. He's just careering into the A-bomb site. The B-bomb side even, with that Glock in hand, picking up 3 very easy kills in Mr. Turtle. Oh no, almost he saves it. He saves it at the very end, but one of the hardest shots in the game to shoot someone in the back of the head with a pistol, but manages to make it work, and now the 2-on-3 retake is in action here. The bomb has been down on the A site. And this is looking very, very grim. They do have the defuse kit, so they don't need to push too hard for this one. But they do have to make something happen here as TUD have taken up their post-plant positions. Mr. Turtle going to walk in with Co-Royal is there to find the kill and a second. What a shot onto Ventake. And now Aract left all on his own. He has to tap away. The bomb is being held, but Mr. Turtle actually goes down. Aract with the Glock at that distance. 2 huge frags to pick it up the pistol round. 14-2 for TUD.
UCD almost brought it back there. That was incredible. Turtle dropped the smoke and was sticking that defuse, but Aract was able to find him anyway. And I think Royal really should have done a better job there, possibly of like body blocking him or something like that. But he had it all to do that. Unfortunately, after finding those initial 2 kills, wasn't able to get anything more done with it. So things came very, very close there. But UCD back on the full eco, only a 5-7 for Cooler, and they're going to rush towards Fountain here. Extinct going to mow them down. Aract chiming in as well, and Extinct still going, doubling up, and Ventake and Doyle going to polish things off to put TUD onto map point. And I mean this is such, so uncharacteristic from UCD. It's quite sad, especially given this is their map pick. You'd expect more from them on a map like Overpass, where they clearly seem to have some sort of practice done, but unfortunately everybody's just so panicked at the moment. It feels like they're running around, not really playing with any structure. And it's really showing in this round difference. It
is, and unfortunately for UCD, they may have had a more coordinated CT side set up, but we're not going to see it because TUD have such a round advantage that UCD are going to only get a couple of attempts, and now they have to bring it all the way, even just for overtime. But maybe this is the play. They've already dropped 3, and Cooler with the, oh my word, the jumping mag 7. Cooler, you can't do that. He's going to make it happen, and there is the round for UCD just by the skin of their teeth. They managed to make it work, but they can't make any more mistakes in terms of rounds. If they lose the next round, that's the map, and then we're into the decider. So they have to win the next 12 in a row just for an overtime, Ferrex.
UCD need to play this absolutely perfectly if they want to have any chance. But again, CT side Overpass, like I said, it is a little bit of a CT sided map, so they have the advantage in that respect. But actually, TUD are going to force their way into this one. 4 AKs, full sets of armor, not a lot of utilities, so they're hoping possibly to catch out UCD. But Extinct has already made his whole way up connector. Nobody here contesting from UCD. They're just sitting back towards the sites. It's actually a 4-man B setup, and it's only Mr. Turtle over towards long with the AWP. But now UCD, they realise something is up, but it's too late. TUD are already all over the bomb site, but Cooler's going to open things up with a nice headshot onto Extinct, and Royal is there to support him and steps out, and Doyle is only good for 1 before he gets dropped by Royal. Arc pushing in is not going to be able to convert the kill. Freedom still fighting away. Evan coming in. Are they going to expect Ventake to be so close? He should drop Freedom any second, but Evan is there to catch him out. It's only No Fear left, and just like that, the round has fallen apart for TUD. It looked good when they took the bomb site with no contest whatsoever, but it's all gone down the drain. It's only No Fear left. Does have a smoke and a Molotov, as well as the bomb and 50 seconds to work with, but I don't think he's going to be able to get much done. The only thing he can hope for at this moment in time is a kill or 2, and a kill is what he's going to find. Starting things off, and now they know exactly where he is, and he shouldn't have jumped there. Evan ready and waiting. Great flick to take the head off of him, and Evan will take kills like that all day long.
He absolutely will, and he's been doing it so far, reflecting the scoreline 21-15. He's been so far leading head and shoulders above the rest for UCD, and almost leading the way in terms of kills in the server, but Extinct has him beat by 1. UCD managed to hold on for another round. 15-4 as we come into the second third of this map. Round number 20. We're going to see what they can bring to the table here. TUD actually don't have much invested into this one. It's just No Fear on the CZ. Doyle has got himself the P250, and Extinct is going to be on the Deagle. Obviously, he's been feeling his aim so far this game, and he's going to see what he can get done with the Desert Eagle. But otherwise, UCD have everything they need and the kitchen sink, bringing it all into this round. Mr. Turtle has got his hands on the AWP as well. We're going to be expecting UCD to convert this one to 15-5. There's a lovely kill from Cooler as he's tapping away. He's just shooting fish in a barrel as TUD move towards the bomb site, but that is going to net them a plant. That Molotov, I'm not sure what side it came from, but it's not going to stop the bomb planter. And now Extinct pushing all the way up. Mr. Turtle is taking a very close angle, but he finds the frag. Extinct has gone down. And now Doyle, No Fear, and Arak left to hold on to this post-plant position, but Evan is there. Solid as a rock as always, and now 2 men left. He's going to tap the bomb. He's got the kit as well, but No Fear and Arak trying to hold on, but the spray down comes in. Oh no, No Fear is in the smoke. Only 6 HP. Oh, there's a lovely kill. Cooler manages to find the last and that's going to be 15-5 now for UCD. So they have the last couple of rounds in a row been a different team, Ferex. They have shown a lot more dominance, but you know, TUD have so many chances to convert this in regulation. It's still very, very grim. UCD have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, well, it took them 17 rounds to settle into this map, but it finally seems like UCD have managed to get a grip on Overpass, and they're starting to convert rounds fairly convincingly. But they're going to be tested once again. Looks like we're going to see a fast B play coming out here from TUD. All 5 players rushing towards Monster, and Molotov, no Molotov there for UCD, so 4 players pushing out through this smoke. I think actually all 5. Ventic is going to find the entry onto Royal, and Extinct following up with 1. Evan is only going to be able to find 1 kill, but there's nothing more off himself. Just how he is going to find Vent taken. Evan the Rock on the B side at the moment. He needs to delay, but Doyle is going to drop him, and it's Mr. Turtle and Cooler left. They do have plenty of utilities to delay that bomb plant. Cooler that Molotov, but actually Arc perfectly placed smoke to allow him to plant that bomb, and TUD now needs to get into better post-ban positions, but no fear, stepping out, going to take out Cooler in Heaven. It's all onto Mr. Turtle with only the AWP, and he might just want to save this one. But actually the economy is pretty decent for UCD, so he's going to try and do as much economic damage as he can, I think. 2 of the TUD players are on nearly half HP, but no fear! Just as that smoke clears, going to give him the perfect chance to take the head off Mr. Turtle. 16-5 in the end. In UCD, like I said, it started to seem like they were finally waking up Cardinal, but the fast play from B, from TUD, was able to catch them out in the end, and that's going to give them the second map Overpass. So we are going to be going to this final map here. It is going to be Nuke, Cardinal.
It is actually going to be Nuke. I couldn't be more excited.
I mean, you know, it was kind of a UCD choice from what I understand. UCD were the last ones to ban. It was between Cash and Nuke, so UCD are going to take Nuke as our final map here. So, I mean, you know, we spoke about it before that Nuke is heavily favoured by, in particular, Evan. I know he's very fond of Nuke, and Incipiens as well. So, I mean, it seems like TUD, maybe we didn't expect a Nuke pick, because typically it'd be one of the maps that we would see banned. So maybe they expected UCD to do the banning for them, but yeah. UCD going to go for the surprise pick for Nuke, and that's going to be our final map here. But there's a lot to unpack from that game, Cardinal and Overpass.
There is a huge amount to unpack. We saw Extinct come back into the server and made a huge impact right out the gates. He definitely hit the ground running. Missing on Mirage, but back in the server now, so we definitely do have a game and a series on our hands for Nuke. I think this might be the first time we've seen Nuke on the broadcast. I don't think we've ever seen Nuke in the Marvin.ie Collegiate Championship so far, so it's going to be an interesting one for us. It's going to be an interesting one for the players in the server as well, to try and figure out that kind of different system. It's a very strange map, we'll say, in the pool, but now we've got Vertigo as well, so that's kind of Nuke almost on steroids, but obviously not in the tournament so far. So we are going to be seeing Nuke for the next map, but just to have a quick few words about that map here on Overpass. 16-5, and just as UCD looked like they were about to get a little bit of momentum going and maybe make a game out of it, TUD just shut it down. Yeah,
you're 100% right. I mean, like we said so many times, that was Extinct who was the turning factor for TUD. You know, they were 4v5 on Mirage, they were down Extinct, and I mean, Extinct is playing out of his mind at the moment. He was the highest fragger for TUD there on Overpass, and he was just kind of running riot on that T side. That's what gave him so many rounds, I think, on that CT side, excuse me. He was just running riot, and I mean, you know, UCD seemed to be pretty panicked on their T side. You know, there was an awful lot less structure than what we're used to seeing from them. So, you know, hopefully they're going to be able to regain their balance here on Nuke. You know, they have this downtime between maps now to talk about what went wrong there and what they can hopefully bring to this next map here on Nuke. And there's so much that they need to think about, because you know they have they're down 2 of their regular players. They have Cooler and Royal instead of Drags and Ruben. So you know, possibly we're going to see a little bit less structure than what we'd expect from them on Nuke. You know, those 2 fresh players. It's hard to practice. According to Incipiens, they've only practiced 3 maps as a full lineup. So I don't know if Nuke is going to be one of them, but certainly I feel like the team play that we're so used to seeing from UCD in this tournament is going to be somewhat lacking on this map.
Definitely could be. I'm really interested to see how both teams approach Nuke, because it's a very different strategic map from your classics Mirage, Cash, Overpass. So I'm going to not only be interested to see how UCD approach it, considering that it is their map, well, their map preference, we'll say. They do like to play Nuke, especially Evan, as you've mentioned, but to see how TUD come into it, because they're pretty much an unknown factor in this deciding map, because, you know, we're missing Extinct at the beginning of the game. Now he's back in. They look completely different, but Nuke is not one we've seen very commonly, so it's going to be very interesting. So, with that said, we are going to throw it to a quick break just as we wait for the players to get ready in the warm-up, digest the last map, and then we'll be into our decider on Overpass in the Marvin.ie Collegiate Championship. So don't go anywhere, we'll be back in just a moment.
Alright everybody, welcome back to this third map here in the best of 3 between UCD Leviathans and TUD Apes, taking place over on Nuke. Previously we saw UCD take Mirage 16-2 I believe, or 16-5 possibly, and then TUD were able to claw Overpass back 16-5 again. So our final map here is going to be Nuke. We're just currently in the knife round, going to see who's going to be starting on which side, but like we say, Cardinal, I mean, TUD, you know, they played Mirage 4v5, and once they had those 5 players on the server for Overpass, they completely decimated UCD, but this is, you know, a map that I would feel that UCD favour quite a lot. So they definitely have a lot of practice done in it, I would imagine. So they definitely going to have something up their sleeve coming into this one. But it looks like we are going to be starting with UCD on the T side and TUD starting on CT. So we're going to get into this first pistol round here and now. We're going to see what UCD can make of it, if they have any fancy strats.
We are indeed.
But coming into this, let's take a quick look at the buys. 5 sets of armor for UCD. And 3 sets of armor for TUD, defuse for Ventake, and a Molotov for No Fear. So an interesting buy there, more util heavy than we would used to be seeing in this championship at least. But UCD just going to rush ramp here. Only 1 player there for TUD, and they're going to take full control. Doyle tied down to 4 HP. Cooler wanting to chase that. It is eventually going to find the kill onto Doyle, and full ramp control now going over to UCD, but they're actually, once again, they're going to slow things down. We've seen something before. They find this initial pick, and then they just go back, and they're going to catch Ventake, who was pushing through into control room, into radio. And Mr. Turtle still hanging around towards ramp is going to find Eric. So TUD just getting so aggressive and getting absolutely punished for UCD after what looked like was going to be a quick ramp burst. They are going to finish over towards A, and it's a 2 versus 5, No Fear and Extinct getting tagged down through the smoke down to 40 HP, and Scipien's tapping away with that Glock. No Fear wary of a flank, and that smoke is just doing so much work for UCD at the moment. Really running down the clock, and TUD actually haven't even managed to retrieve the kid. Extinct is only good for 1 kill before Incipients takes down both TUD players. And the pistol round going over to TUD now. Cardinal, we mentioned before that Overpass is a bit of a CT map, but Nuke arguably is even more so of a CT map.
Oh,
so
absolutely, yeah. I would definitely agree.
You know, we would be hoping to see, or at least TUD would be hoping to see, you know, maybe a 10-5 scoreline, 9-6 they would be more than happy with.
Yeah, just trying to get any T rounds on the board possible is always the play for Nuke. You know, it's definitely the harder side to start on, but UCD picking up the first pistol round of the series so far, I believe. So that's really good going for them, and they've had their momentum now saved from the last map. They're going to bring it over on to Nuke, our decider here in this series, the best of 3 of the Marvin.ie Collegiate Championship Grand Final between TUD Apes and UCD Leviathan. So we're going to see who is going to take the crown here at the end of this map. This is the decider to see what happens. And straight away, Incipien's going to find a kill on Ventake. And oh, UCD picking up kills across the board. Now just Doyle and Arak left. Just pistols in hand. This is going to be the second round on the board for UCD. Unless a hero play comes out for Doyle and Arak. Arak actually on the deagle, so he could make something happen. Maybe inflict a little bit of economic damage to some of these UCD players that are tagged up. But other than that, it is going to be pretty much standard affair across the board, as Mr. Turtle is expecting the player in heaven. He spots the head and takes it off. Arak is going to get dropped. Just Doyle left now, all on his lonesome against the firing squad that is UCD. And within... Actually, no, he's going to save the P250. So, bit of an interesting save.
I think it's more of a save the KD than save the P250.
Yeah, you know, you got to pad those stats. Is always important, but UCD... going to tag each other up a little bit. Just a little bit of a lob tap there from Incipients. And Doyle is going to get away with his life just about. So that's the second round on the board for UCD. And now we have a match on our hands. Ferrex.
Now we can really get into this. TUD with their first buy. I'm going to see nobody has the money to pick up an op, so they're going to be missing that, especially in this outside position, I would imagine. The AUG is somewhat of a replacement, but actually No Fear only had the money for a UMP. Does manage to get full utility for his efforts though. But UCD, everything they could want in this round really. Still a few less than favourable SMGs and pistols, but that nade is so huge for TUD. It's going to tag down 2 players solo and drop Cooler as well. So good structured play there by TUD to give them a free kill and a hefty amount of damage being done as well. Extinct jiggling around in garage here is going to step out and find Turtle, who was isolated there under silo. There's only 3 players left for UCD so early on in the round. They have managed to get down secret, but I think TUD are aware of this. Evan lurking towards ramp is just about not going to be able to convert the kill. Doyle going to drop him with the M4, and No Fear just pushing through ramp, and Ventake going to close things out as well.
Yeah, that's very disappointing from UCD. We thought that coming into this round, considering they are the we'll say, more accustomed to Nuke team between the two, that we would see maybe a little bit of a more dynamic gun round coming out. Now, of course, TUD is on the CT side, which is much more favourable on Nuke, so they do pick up the round, but it seemed to pretty much go the way of TUD with, very little back and forth between the two teams. It was very one-sided approach. We are just going to hop into a quick technical pause, actually. It was a little bit of time to break down the first couple of rounds.
Absolutely.
As there's a pause in game. So we can kind of talk about UCD picking up the pistol. They convert the second round as well, super important. But now TUD have come back into it all guns blazing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, what we saw was a fantastic pistol from UCD, to be honest. A quick rush towards ramp, and TUD were fully expecting UCD to be running down ramp. And with I think it was Evan who went back and caught Ventake pushing through into radio room, and then they went back towards A, and Mr. Turtle caught out another TUD player pushing up from ramp. So UCD was toying with their food in that round in essence, and they did a decent enough job of converting the second round. But TUD back with a vengeance in the third one to bring us to a 2-1 now as we are into this pause. But yeah, I mean, even 2 rounds very early on in this T side for UCD is pretty good going for them. They'll be happy, I would imagine, with a 9-6 half against them, and maybe even a 10-5 possibly. Now, Nuke is traditionally a very, very CT sided map, but in the more recent iterations, it has been brought back more towards the T side, more favourable towards the T side, but it is still a CT side map, as I mentioned. But that pause has finished now, so we're going to be able to get back into this game. And both teams fully invested in this round. Utility all around for everybody. No fear still on that UMP, despite having money to buy up, so feels confident enough to hold on to that nade towards the outside. Not going to deal any damage for TUD in this round. Art holding towards ramp with the M4, and UCD taking this round much more slowly than we've seen before. Incipien's actually manages to crawl out to red. I think he's been spotted. Doyle looking towards there at the moment. That Molotov is going to force Incipiens out. Will he go backwards or forwards? He's going to go back. Forced away by the Molotov towards back of red, but there's nobody there to capitalise on it. Royal going to step out. Takes down Extinct, who is in garage. It's an early man advantage for UCD. Still a minute 10 left on the clock, but Doyle is there to cover from garage straight away. Cooler going to flash over, and that's going to allow Incipiens to take a peek, should he want to. Doesn't look like he does. And now UCD, like we've seen before, just hitting the brakes once they find that man advantage, waiting for TUD to get aggressive, see if they can cash anything out, give themselves a further advantage. But Doyle stepping out, pre-firing that red position, going to drop Incipiens, bringing us back, and Royal is on 31 HP, so things pretty even at the moment.
Indeed, and it seemed like Incipiens didn't even think that, Royal, or the TUD player being in the position again was even a possibility. He had no idea, and pays for that with his life, as No Fear holding on with the UMP, and Ventake finding 2 kills of his own. UCD just fall asunder in that round after getting the man advantage. Like you said, Ferrix, they slapped on the brakes, they stood back and they said, we have the man advantage, we can let TUD make the mistakes. We know Nuke better than they know it, but obviously it doesn't go that way that round, and we're back to a 2-2 scoreline.
Yeah, TUD doing well to bring themselves back into this game. And UCD, only some upgraded pistols, a few P250s and a Deagle. Might go for a fast ramp play again. It worked out for them in the pistol round, but this time, against the fully bought TUD, I don't think they're going to be able to get much done. Royal is going to drop Doyle. And they're going to collapse down onto ramp here. Ark is waiting with the M4. UCD not presenting themselves just yet. Looks like they're going to go back towards radar. They picked up the dropped rifle. Arik spotting that player jumping across is going to fall even further back, so ramp control fully established now by UCD. We're going to see what they want to do with it. Ventake with the AK in hand. Got 2 kills from that position in the previous round. Going to see if he can make anything happen once again. UCD now grouping up. It looks like they're going to head back towards the outside, which is actually an interesting enough play. After establishing full ramp control, they're just going to completely fall off. And that's kind of smart, because TUD, it's unlikely they're going to try and retake ramp control. So they're going to be fully worried about that position for the rest of the round, wherever UCD decide to go. But now Incipiens slowly creeping up outside. There's nobody here for TUD. Actually, No Fear is there, but he's going to get dropped by Incipiens' Deagle. And Ventake, he's got 2 kills from him in the previous round. He's going to find himself 1. Extinct chiming in as well. And just like that, TUD back on the front foot. Art so passive on this B side. And Ventake, I mean, UCD not even considering they could be up there after he found that first kill. He's going to find a free 2 kills onto the players walking out from hut. And 3 rounds now for TUD on the CT side, and UCD, I mean, it's kind of like what we saw in Overfast before, Cardinal. They're just panicked almost.
Yeah, and what I think happened there was UCD had no utility left to maybe smoke off the cross and then get down through Secret into the other bomb site, where Incipients found a great kill with the Deagle to open up the outside, but then they just decided to go back in towards the A side anyway, maybe expecting a rotate from TUD, but never came through, and obviously reflected in the scoreline as they pick up their 3rd round in a row since the pistol. So UCD need to find their groove coming into this one, as Doyle is going to spray in through the smoke. Finds Evan eventually. Now Mr. Turtle with only 12 HP. AK in hand. He's almost catches Ventake on the jump. But Ventake actually finding an ace there. That was a very, very quick round for TUD. Just kills going all over the board, but UCD not able to make anything happen. And now a 4-2 scoreline for TUD, and we talked about UCD coming into this map of Nuke, that, you know, they might be able to pull something out of the bag, maybe catch TUD a little bit off guard, but so far they haven't been able to since the pistol round. So TUD on the CT side, much to our expectations, really. I think that's fair to say that they've been picking up plenty of CT rounds once they got their hands on the weaponry. So we're going to see what they can do for the rest of this half. UCD just trying to put as many rounds as they can on the board so they get their chance at the defense. But so far, we're into another eco for UCD. Just some upgraded pistols, a Deagle on Cooler and Evan. But this is one map apiece for both teams. This is the decider, so UCD have to make something of this if they want any chance at the final, but Extinct is going to put a stop to that, and there's a beautiful op shot. Aract also going to get a kill of his own. He swings out again, knows he's against a force buy, maybe just a couple of pistols at most, so he's going to make minced meat of UCD as they try to take control of ramp. And just Royal left. They're spraying through the wall. He's got no chance at all. Device is being closed. And he does find 1 kill, but not enough to make anything of that round. So TUD now 5 rounds in a row, Ferex, and you know, this is starting to slip away from UCD yet again in this map.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, you know, after that initial good showing in the first 2 rounds, UCD seems to have just completely fallen apart. TUD having nothing to do, and yeah, I mean, 2 of the players for UCD only on 1 frag each. It's Cooler and Evan. I mean, Evan was a linchpin for UCD on Mirage, and indeed he had a pretty good showing on Overpass as well, but not showing up so far in this map. And we pinpointed him before the game as one of those players in UCD who really, really likes Nuke, so it's uncharacteristic to see him towards the bottom of the leaderboard. But Incipient's pushing outside in the smoke. He's going to walk by, does get spotted by Extinct, but it's incredible he managed to get down Secret there. That's a problem for TUD now. They need to deal with this. This man who has managed to get down Secret, he could crack this B site wide open. Or he could go up to the vents and go hunting on A, but 4 players for UCD here in radio. Grouping up, looks like they're going to hit A, and Extinct not quite connecting that shot to the door. Unfortunate for him. Incipient's ready to come pouncing out of these vents at the first opportunity. Going to hear that AWP reloading actually, and here comes the push now from UCD. 4 players out. Extinct going to find the kill with the AWP, dropping Cooler, and he hears Incipients in the vents. The bomb is going to get planted. No Fear is on this flank so fast, so he's going to catch Turtle out and finds the second one onto Royal as well. And this sight hold is suddenly falling apart. No Fear still going, drops Evan. It's only Incipients left, and he's not even going to be able to get anything. No Fear, that super fast flank completely catching out UCD, not expecting it at all, but they do manage to get the bomb down, Cardinal, so they're going to have a decent economy in this round if they want to buy into it.
They definitely are, but the best economy in the world doesn't matter if the kills are not going your way and you're not covering the proper angles. It seemed like UCD swarmed the bomb site at the perfect time in that round, but then just completely neglected to hold their flank and didn't realise No Fear was going to be, you know, coming from the rear that quickly. So, you know, really solid play from TUD, and they've been very impressive so far on Nuke, and their CT side is, you know, very, very solid across the board. So 6-2 the scoreline as we come into round number 9. TUD, all guns blazing across the board for TUD as they've been very, very dominant now. UCD have to make something work. Ooh, and that's exactly what they need. Incipients, he's going to delete Extinct from the server and give them an advantage as they establish a little bit more outside control. And so far in this game, Fergus, we haven't really seen them hit the lower bomb side of the 2. They opting for that A split attack most of the times, but
oh dear,
maybe that is how they exploit the weakness of TUD and kind of mix it up a little bit. But you know, we might see it later on their T side. But so far, It has been just the A show as kills been traded back and forth. Incipiens is going to go down after his initial opening kill. And Ventake is getting very aggressive, maybe a little over aggressive. He's going to pay for that with his life. Now all of a sudden UCD back in the driver's seat as Cooler's going to make his way down Secret and into the lower bomb site. Just checking all his angles. And he's going to return. However, oh no, he's going to catch out Doyle. Doyle in no man's land. And here come UCD. Now they look a little bit indecisive here as just No Fear and Arak left alive. The bomb is going to get dropped. Royal is going to clear out as much as he can. Are they going to expect him in the corner though? No Fear good for one, but not the second. Freedom going to take him down. Royal find another kill as Arak is left all on his own in a 1v3 with 15 seconds left on the clock. Is he going to save the AK-47 or is he going to opt for this 1v3? He'd have to go absolutely nuclear if he wants to make it happen, and that smoke is going to cut his time down significantly. Now here he comes. He's got to find these kills and he's got to find them fast, but a lovely crossfire setup. Royal is going to be the first one out. Narak can't get anything done. That's going to be the first round for UCD in quite some time, Ferex, and that was what they needed.
That's better from UCD indeed. I mean, TUD put 6 rounds in a row completely unchallenged on the board before UCD finally replying there, and I feel like Ventake going down, pushing through Mini there was the turning point in that round. That was really what allowed UCD to close that one out, and if he had found a kill there or even 2, we could have seen a completely different result, but as we were, UCD going to find the kill and indeed the round to follow. Not going to let it go to their head, hopefully, though. Playing things safe once again in this round. Just slowing down, waiting to see if TUD are going to try and push for any kills of their own. But so far, there's nothing. Incipient slowly working his way out middle now. Or outside, excuse me. I don't know if he spotted the player there in Garage. Arak playing ramp as he's done so many times before. Kind of deploy the Molotov to hold off anything from UCD.
Gets extinguished actually by his teammate. That was a little bit of miscommunication there.
But that wasn't a miscommunication. Extinct communicates that shot right into the body of Cooler. Incipiens, though, is there with the trade. It's a 4 versus 4. UCD still have a pretty good chance, especially with Incipiens finding the kill, but he's not expecting No Fear to be so close. So all the trades happening at the moment. Ventake here on the A side is going to catch out Evan as he walks out from Mini, and Mr. Turtle not quick enough to be with the trade, and Ventake swinging back around the other side of that silo is going to find his 3rd kill. And UCD just going one by one there, and Ventake will take 3 kills like that all day long.
1 magazine, 3 kills. That's, you know, huge play from Ventake and very uncontested from UCD. We saw, you know, a split push coming onto that bomb site a lot of the rounds, but when Incipients couldn't really dominate the outside and establish that control where the second player was there to catch him out, we saw a very mediocre push coming onto the bomb site from UCD, and that's going to net Ventake 3 easy kills. 3 1v1s, he'll take those every single day of the week now as we are into a 7-3 scoreline for TUD, and it looks like the momentum of UCD has been killed yet again. But with that said, they do have 4 rifles coming into this one. Cooler's got the bomb on his back, and this might be the first lower hit as we see 5 players outside make that 4 as Mr. Turtle is going to get caught in the smoke. But they have managed to get down Secret for the most part, but no, Ventake is there to stop make it. Oh no, he actually finds the second, but Cooler picks up his fallen comrade's AK-47 and puts it to use in this round. He's got the bomb on his back as well, and Evan in tow with 32 HP to try and make something happen here. This is the first lower hit we've seen so far, but are they going to be expecting Arak? He's underneath, he's just lying in wait, he's ready to pounce. Cooler's going to drop right into the pit, and Evan is there to trade him out. Oh, finds the second though. Evan, he could make something of this with only 32 HP. He's collected the bomb, but he's got to be very careful. Doyle is going to spot him out, and that's going to be put to bed. Evan almost manages to make something happen in the 1 versus 4, but can't get it done.
Close stuff there, Evan. Dealing a significant amount of economic damage nonetheless, but I mean, the economy for TUD at this point is so strong. Doyle sitting at 6,550, and you know, TUD can afford to lose maybe another round or 2 before they're going to be forced onto an eco. UCD, though, fully invested into this round as well. AKs all round, no AWP, though. You know, that could be the catalyst that UCD needed. We haven't really seen them bring out an AWP on this T side so far. I mean, it would certainly assist them in taking outside control, I feel. I mean, Incipients hasn't really had much difficulty taking outside control thus far, but it would definitely help him out if he had the AWP behind him. No fears.
Oh my
Just
word.
randomly spraying through Mini there. Is going to find the free kill on the cooler and Extinct. Taking down Incipients, who was pushing up outside, and that's really, really unfortunate for UCD. That's the sort of thing that, you know, tilts you off the face of the planet when you're 8-3 down and a TUD player does that. And UCD put into a 3 versus 5 so quickly, and Ventake, I mean, that's the second time he's been pushing through Mini now and just get punished for it. But his teammates are mopping up with no problem at all. Evan, the only man left for UCD now with it all to do. Gonna
Ooh, Evan, please.
is gonna flick to find Oil, who's sitting in the corner, but Extinct catches him out, push through door to give TUD their 9th round. And now UCD are going to start to sweat a little bit because they're going to probably have to only maybe some upgraded pistols. We're going to see a little bit of a quick pause here from UCD, and that's probably the right call at this moment in time, because they need to figure out what they want to do, Cardinal, because I mean nothing for them is working at the moment. They've only picked up 3 rounds, and indeed 1 round since they found the initial 2, so they need to figure out how they're going to crack this CT side open.
Yeah, so the scoreline sitting at 9-3 as this pause comes in. They're just going to have a little bit of a discussion to see what they can bring into the last couple of rounds here. We're coming into round number 13, and UCD currently sitting at only 3 rounds on the T side. TUD have been blazing ahead so far, and they've put a very, very dominant CT performance out so far. Now, if UCD want to give themselves even a fighting chance, I think they need to put maybe even 1 or 2 more rounds on the board. Bring it to maybe a 10-5 or, you know, an 11-4 half. Then they have some chance, if they win the pistol, that they could convert, and then we've got a real game on our hands. But as we know TUD to be such a dominant team, they could just put UCD to bed here in this first half, and then we won't have any game on our hands for the second half. So
yeah,
that's a very likely possibility if UCD can pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, so I mean, UCD, you know, they need to start putting more rounds on the board. I mean, maybe a 10-5 half is okay for them, but really, you know, if they want to have a chance of winning this, because we know that the T side of TUD is so strong, they need to, you know, they need to put some more rounds on the board here. And at the moment, 3 is probably not going to be sufficient. So, you know, 4, 5, even 6 would be good for them. But I mean, looking at the buy in this one, you know, they're on an eco, so it's pretty likely they're going to lose this. Down there, staring on the barrel of 10-3, and unless they find the following round with the rifles, I think this game is pretty much done and dusted.
Done and dusted is a good way to put it, as we are going to be getting into round number 13 now, just as we say it. And both teams going to be considering their options for the last half of the map, and also the last map of the series, as it will be decided on Nuke. Both teams currently sitting at 1 map apiece, actually having sniped each other's map pick away. So
that's true.
That's an interesting statistic there for you. But with that said, UCD coming into this one with just a couple of upgraded pistols. So if trends are to be believed, Extinct is going to put UCD in their place, and he's doing just that so far. Incipients does well, at least to find 1, but No Fear is going to find 3 of his own. So
yeah,
Extinct picking up 2 kills to shut down that push from the outside before UCD could get anything under their belt. And now we're looking at a 10-3 scoreline. So this is the round for UCD if they want to give themselves a chance in the first half. And we actually see, I think this is the first time the AWP has come out for the T side. He's going to see if Mr. Turtle is going to take that, but Evan looks like he's feeling it this one. Going to bring that all the way actually over to the outside. So they are going to establish the control again here. A little bit of utility been used up, but they don't have everything. No, actually, Evan is going to push ramp all on his own. Takes the straight aim duel with Aract, and he's going to lose it out. Now, that's a huge loss for UCD, not only in terms of the manpower, but they haven't got that AWP, and that's a huge investment. This late in the game, you've really got to make those choices, but the bomb has been dropped. Oh, no, TUD. Oh, no, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is very grim to watch. Extinct almost gets the next, but Royal is there at least to find 1 now in the 2-on-4. And UCD are on their knees praying right now to make it through this one. And now Mr. Turtle has got it all to do. If there ever was a time, it was right now with this AK in his hands. No Fear is going to walk into him. He tries to shoulder peek, but steps a little bit too far. And now Mr. Turtle with it all to do in the 1v3 Ventake in a disgusting position here with the silenced M4. That's going to be all she wrote. Mr. Turtle is eliminated.
Yeah, we'll take this opportunity to take a quick look at the scoreboard. Ventake certainly leading the charge for TUD. 18 frags for him, and No Fear not too far behind, but the scoreboard for UCD is a much more disappointing sight to see. You know, Incipients, the highest fragger, only 9 kills for him, not a single player for UCD positive at the moment, and I mean, at 11-3 scoreline, what would you expect? So we're going to get into this final round here of our first half on Nuke, and TUD very much in control, and Doyle with the disrespect bringing out the auto sniper. That's incredible. He's actually going to find one kill, only good for one though, and it's Arik to fall back down ramp, I think. Cooler pushing the whole way through here. Will Extinct expect him? He won't, and Cooler going to find the free kill essentially. If Extinct had a rifle there, it could have been the end for Cooler, but Freedom is going to follow up with a frag, but they're not expecting Arik to be there with the AWP, and they need to clear him out. They need to do it fast before the rotate come in. Mr. Turtle just does just that. It's only Ventake left, and I mean, you know, he's been very, very strong so far. He's not going to be able to connect that first kill. Evan just about gets away, and Evan spraying through the smoke is going to drop him from the round.
Can't do that, Evan. This is not ICL. Oh, Ventake gets deleted, and we're at an 11-4 scoreline for the first half.
Yeah, well, you know, we said they would have been happy possibly with a 10-6, maybe a 10-5, maybe a 9-6 half UCD, but 11-4 is probably less than favourable Cardinal. So they're going to be coming into this one pretty disappointed with what we've seen in that first half. But you know, their CT side could be very, very strong. We've yet to see.
Indeed, they have a bit of a mountain to climb, I think is fair to say, with an 11-4 scoreline. They have to get the pistol to go their way. I think that is absolutely crucial if they want to give themselves a little bit of momentum to get their CT side rolling. But as it remains to see, TUD can do anything in any circumstance, it seems. So it's going to be an interesting one to look at. But so far, I think UCD have been a little bit lackluster on Nuke. And, you know, obviously we need to give them a little bit of leeway because the CT side is obviously the more favourite side of the map. But at the same time, you would be expecting a little bit more of a performance from them, considering that this is kind of their preferred map pick out of the two teams in the server at the moment.
I would definitely say what I think at the moment UCD are missing is kind of the leadership of Drags. I mean, you know, we spoke about it before, and Drags missing is a very, very large factor for UCD because not only is he their IGL, he's also their highest fragger. So you know, it's disappointing to see that he wasn't able to make this game, or he's not their highest fragger, but he's one of their highest fraggers for sure. Definitely a big impact player for them. So not only have they changed probably the style of calling, I would imagine Incipien's calls very differently from Drags, so there might be a little bit of a disconnect there. Incipien's the man himself, going to open up the round. Well, no fear is there with the trade, but yeah, I feel UCD are definitely missing Drags at the moment. But no fear still going to find the kill onto Cooler. Turtle gonna find one playing from heaven, and everybody missing all their shots at the moment.
Oh no.
Turtle falling down from heaven is gonna get dropped, but Evans there to take out No Fear. It's only 2 players left now for each side, and there's no kit for UCD, I don't think. Mr. Turtle looks like he had one, I think, possibly, so it's gonna be down on the A side if it's anywhere. But Doyle still with the smoke, and TD taking things much more slowly now. They're going to try and catch it. Doyle, great shot onto Evan, and they're going to expect that's going to be heaven clear, but Royal is actually here ready and waiting. TD are probably not going to expect the second player to be here in heaven, so Royal has a very, very good chance. He's going to find the first kill
Royal,
and step
please.
back. He just needs to delay now. 50 seconds left for Ventake. Knows exactly where Royal is now, so he's going to plant this bomb safe from heaven and just wait. But Royal looked like he was going to go out. I don't quite know what he's doing right now. It looks like he's going to try and fake the drop, but Ventake... Actually, this could well have worked out for Royal. Ventake now still looking towards heaven. Royal going to flick it.
Oh,
find the kill anyway in the end.
Just about. He manages to make it work. Royal got a little bit dicey there, but that is a very, very important pistol round for UCD. Most likely their most important pistol round of the tournament so far.
That's incredible stuff there. So UCD going to give themselves a little bit of breathing room. They should pick up this second round if everything goes according to plan. But TUD are going to do their very best. But if UCD pick up this one, you know, that's 6-11. That's not a bad scoreline, especially considering you're on the CT side of Nuke. So they've definitely given themselves a chance in this game by picking up that pistol round. But I mean, looking at the buy from UCD, it's pretty interesting. A Mag 7 and an XM being picked up, Cardinal.
Yeah, double shotgun. We see this from a couple of different pro teams actually. Esports, back when they had Oscar, used to love the auto shotgun, especially obtaining that hut position. But it all goes awry when No Fear just walks straight into the bomb site and picks up 2 of the easiest kills he'll ever pick with double headshot. Doyle also getting a kill of his own now, and this has unraveled very quickly. They need Cooler though with the Mag 7, gonna find a kill. Freedom coming along. Royal is gonna pick up that one. And now, actually, Doyle is just left all on his own. This unraveled for both teams very quickly. Cooler with the fadeaway headshot onto Doyle. He putting that Mag 7 to use, and he obviously knew something we didn't know coming into that round with the double shotgun setup. They're going to make it happen. UCD are back in it.
Yeah, UCD, I mean, it looked like they were going to throw away that round, especially with No Fear running into the side, taking 2 easy headshots, but UCD managing to claw it back there. Royal, the turning point in that round for them. Finishing off on a 2 versus 1, and it's going to put TUD, after they forced into that round, back onto just some upgraded pistols, and that's very, very good for UCD because It should be another round for them on the board now. And 11-7 is not a bad scoreline at all. Very, very doable. And Incipien's UMP not really the weapon you want at that range, especially against Eagles with that one-shot potential. Royal towards ramp with the M4 is going to smoke it off. No utility at all for TUD, so they need to pick where they want to go. Extinct.
Oh my word.
Peeking through that door, going to get deleted by Cooler. Evan holding out from heaven. Should see some action here in just a second. He's going to find an easy killer onto No Fear. Only losing 24 HP in the process, and himself and Incipien's going to team up to take down Doyle, and it's only Arak and Ventek left, and Cooler has spotted the bomb now, pushing through. And he's going to find the knife onto Arak. That's unfortunate for Arak. And that's probably going to be a little bit of a tilt factor for TUD now, maybe, if they let it go to their heads. Ventek, the only man left alive, could find a kill here. Does do just that onto Cooler. You see now hitting the brakes. They don't want to give him anything more. And Evan going to close things out so deadly with those headshots. Bringing us to 11-7. And now UCD are going to get tested, I think, Cardinal, because the buy is coming in from TUD. Looks like we're going to see 5 AKs, possibly an AWP if Doyle should want to buy one. The only person on TUD capable of doing so and still getting armor. He's definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, they're definitely having a bit of a discussion, and there it comes now. And interestingly enough, Incipiens is on the AWP. He's going to hold outside for UCD. So we might just see the AWP battle coming out between the two players, unless Doyle opts to go for ramp. But so far, it is all square. 11-7 in round number 19 as Incipiens rings out with the AWP in outside, trying to spray through the smoke and catch any of the TUD players off guard, but nothing so far. As Royal now is going to be first contact here. There's the kill. Extinct is going to go down, but almost gets caught with the grenade in his hand. And he is going to go down, almost finding the second frag, but not enough as Ventek pushes towards ramp. And now UCD have to figure out, are they going to hit lower or upper? And oh no, Evan, very advantageous position if he can stay alive, but No Fear has been an absolute thorn in UCD's side so far on the T side. There's another kill. He's going to double up, get his second of the round now. Cooler and Incipiens make that just Cooler as Doyle wins out the AWP fight here. And just Cooler all on his own. He's got a huge amount of work to be done. There's Molotovs all around, but he's got ice in the veins, I think, as he tries to make something happen here in this 1v3. He's going to go for it with the AWP as well, as he doesn't know where any of these TUD players are. And no, he's just retrieved the AWP. So it turns out he doesn't have ice in the veins, actually. That's and tragic. The fire burning around has incentivized him, to back off. So he's just going to retrieve the AWP. And happy to bring that into round number 20. But TUD, most importantly, do claw one back. So they have managed to make their T-side work. TUD finally finding around any ice the Cooler may have had in his veins being quickly melted by that Molotov. And we're going to get into this 20th round here. TUD finally starting to wake up on their T-side, it seems. The AWP possibly making a difference in that round for them. Doyle, the one with it to hand, and I mean, UCD, not a very strong buy. They've actually, Cooler could have dropped a rifle possibly and still had enough money to buy in this next round, because this is a little bit of an eco from UCD. Royal with the CZ close. Gonna close the door, playing a little bit of door stuck there, and he's gonna find one. Not good for the second though. He's gonna go for the knife, but Doyle just gets away, and he so nearly gets the knife, but Doyle spins around and takes his head off just in time, and it's only Cooler and Incipiens left. Incipiens get dropped, but Cooler is there with the trade. It's a 3 versus 1, and still gonna hit that shot onto Doyle, who was very, very low on HP, and I don't know if he's gonna expect Extinct to be so close with this AK. He's gonna swing out, and unfortunately, Cooler fired at just the wrong time. Extinct swings out and takes the final kill. TUD now 6 rounds ahead of UCD, and it looks like they're finally starting to get settled into this new T-side, Cardinal. They are. That would have been an outrageous knife from UCD if that managed to happen, and he was dropped to 23 HP, so it could have gone through, but putting that CZ and the knife to use, not going to net UCD around though, which is most important here, as that was... Was that intentional? That no, not intentional. No, I thought it was some high-tech Molotov we've seen for just outside hut, but not going to go their way this time. As what I did actually notice in the last round was, I think it was Extinct on the TUD side, had a set smoke grenade for outside. So although we've said a couple of times that UCD are preferential to playing nuke, Clearly the TUD players are experienced in it enough to know some set strategies and defaults and smoke grenades, and that's coming out a lot here on their T side, more so than the CT side, as No Fear yet again finding easy kills with no trade potential. He's definitely feeling it now with 24 kills under his belt so far. Royal trying to hang on and ramp, but he is going to get deleted from the server now, and the man advantage is over in favour of TUD. With a 13-7 scoreline, UCD need to make something happen here, but No Fear is no problems as he picks up another kill before he goes down. And now it's just on Mr. Turtle and Cooler in the 2v3. Ventake, Doyle and Aract trying to hang on to this post plant position, but Cooler finding the opening kill. He's going to even it up to 2 men apiece. Diffuse kits on both sides. Aract, they're getting caught out, and Cooler's just going to take this round into his own hands. And that's going to be a very, very clean retake.
4k there for Cooler, putting UCD on his back, and that was a pretty poor post plant position there from the last TUD player. Bomb wasn't even planted for him, so UCD going to take full advantage of that. And claw one round back after TUD had managed to string a few together, putting a quick stop. And I mean, TUD, the money is still there for them to buy into this one. Doyle only on a deagle, but the rest of his teammates all with AKs. Looks like Ventic is we're gonna see an outside take here. A few smokes going down. We've seen it a few times before, and it's worked for them pretty well. That Molotov from UCD is actually gonna hold them back for a little bit. They're gonna advance outwards anyway, but Incipient so close, hiding in the smoke. Could be a real thorn in the side. He's gonna.
Oh my word!
He's not even gonna get. He does get one kill before Ventic drops him, but he has dealt a fair amount of damage. And Cooler is gonna be there to help him out, taking down Ventic. And bit of a blunder there from TUD, not checking their close corners. They weren't expecting UCD Incipients to be so close in the smoke, and Extinct has actually managed to make his way all out onto A side. He's now sitting outside hut. He should catch out Cooler here, who's coming in from heaven. And TUD have just completely slowed this round, and the bomb is kind of out in no man's land. Cooler is going to find Extinct, but Extinct is going to find the kill. And Doyle taking down Evan as well. Turtle does finally managed to drop a TUD player, but it's a 2 versus 2 after what seemed like the round was nearly done. Turtle getting aggressive here, doesn't really need to, is going to find the kill anyway. He's going to smoke himself, and it's only Doyle left with only 10 HP. I think he should be able to find this round. Royal heading towards outside. Doyle he still has 30 seconds to work with, so he's just playing this as slowly as he can. He's tucked in here behind vents.
He's playing this one very slowly with 10 HP. He knows he's got to be very, very careful, but most importantly, he's lost track of all the UCD players left alive. Royal and Mr. Turtle could be anywhere, and with only 15 seconds left, he's got to make his choice, and it looks like that choice is going to be A. As the 10-second timer comes in, there's the bomb plant, and now UCD are going to spring into action. How are they going to approach this retake, as Doyle has actually managed to weasel his way out of the bomb site altogether. Now he's back towards door, but the frag grenade in Mr. Turtle's hand there could prove fatal, but he's going to hang on to it for another while longer. He's picked up a Molotov as well. Now that could be huge, and Doyle, if he peeks this, the timing is going to be everything. He's going to move out, and there's the what is that Molotov? And they don't actually catch it. Doyle, what are you doing, Doyle? Oh my word, he picks up the 2v1 to put TUD on 14 rounds. What was that, Ferrex?
That was incredible. UCD completely fluffed their lines there, to be honest. I mean, they were all over the place, and Doyle was just able to step out. Molotov in hand. He should have been killed as soon as he stepped out with that Molotov, but UCD, I don't know what went wrong. They just weren't able to connect the shots, and they're going to get completely punished for it. TUD, 14 rounds now, 1 away from match point. And, I mean, UCD, that was their round to lose, and, well, lose it they did.
Their round to lose is the best way I think you could put it, and not only will they be on map point, but they're going to be on tournament and championship point as well. Look at this buy from UCD. They've got absolutely nothing here. Evan with the Kevlar helmet and UMP is all they can do, and now TUD have established so much control of the map. They've made all the way down secret, and damage being dealt across the board, but with 5 AKs in hand, you've got to favour TUD here. No Fear already opening it up, and he's going to take the only bit of equipment out of this round for UCD. Evan is going to go down. Cooler does well at least to find 1 kill, but this is looking very grim. UCD have a huge amount of work to get done in this round if they want to make anything of it, but we could be staring down championship point here as Aract is going to ring out and find 2. There we go. Aract getting a second kill. Ventake takes out Royal, and now TUD are on 15 rounds. Ferrex, this is it. UCD cannot make any more mistakes, even if they just want to bring it to overtime, and they have got a huge amount of work to do.
Yeah, it's do or die at the moment now for UCD, and the bye is not going to do them any favours. Evan, after he, for some reason, 4-spot in the last one, I don't know what he was thinking. Only a deagle, a flash, and some armour. The rest of UCD, in fairness, not faring much better. 2 FAMASs. And I think this might be game, set, and match for TUD. They've been playing this T side pretty well so far, once it's settled into it. And they're going to quickly take some outside control, completely uncontested. And Incipien's going to find the first kill, but gets quickly traded out by Ventake, who's going to keep marching on towards Heaven. And no fear now, making his way out of Mini. Could catch out Cooler. Spots the head, and one tap, nice there, easy kill for him, and no fear still going. We've seen him do it so many times. He's a monster with that AK, but Evan is there to finally take him down, put a stop to him, but he's going to get tagged down to 11 HP in the process. He does have the bomb though, so TUD now have to come to him, but Mr. Turtle is so far away. Out in secret, there's not really much he can do to help Evan out here, no utility or anything like that, and he can't afford to run around because he'll be heard straight away. Slowly making his way towards Evan now, but Arik does actually manage to retrieve the bomb. Interesting, but Turtle is going to take him down and drop him, and Auto Director not doing me any favours. There we go. So it's Turtle with it all to do as Evan goes down.
Forever was a time for Mr. Turtle. It's right now to keep his team in the game. He's completely neglected the bomb, and he's just moved completely across the map. That must be some miscommunication on the UCD team, but they've just completely neglected the bomb outside, and it was completely dropped. This is an absolute travesty. Mr. Turtle, if he makes it happen here, it'll be an absolute miracle. Ventake thinks he's outside, but that's going to be it. Ventake, too good, and finds the frag. Mr. Turtle goes down, and that is going to be 16-8 to TUD, and TUD are also going to be our Marvin.ie Collegiate champions as they pick up the second map of, or the third map even. They're going to pick up Nuke, 16-8, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Indeed, it's unfortunate for UCD. I mean, look, you know, they completely dominated them on Mirage, but again, TUD were playing 4v5 at that moment in time, and as soon as they got their 5th player back, extinct for Overpass, they dominated Overpass, and now they've dominated Nuke, 16-8, you know, doubling UCD's rounds in the end. And you know, we spoke about it before the game that Nuke was a map that we felt UCD would be quite strong on, but unfortunately they just weren't able to get it done. And you know, at times they felt a little bit chaotic, especially on Overpass. They were panicked,
Indeed, yeah.
not really any structure. You know, we know UCD for their team play and that sort of thing, but it wasn't really there. Now, again, given they were down 2 of their regular players and they had 2 subs, but nonetheless, you know, the core of Evan, Incipiens and Mr. Turtle, you know, they should have been able to pull something together, but it wasn't really there for them in the end. So they give up the 2 maps, and I mean, it's just unfortunate for them, I think.
Indeed, and that is going to be GG, and TUD have just been absolutely out of this world in the entire tournament so far. You know, they were undefeated in the Swiss stage, then they dropped, I think this is the first map they've dropped all tournament, even in the playoffs, in the semi-finals, they didn't drop a map at all either. So a huge performance from them throughout the entire tournament. They've been a very consistent factor, and it showed today. And they pick up the series 2-1, and that is going to be it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault UCD for trying. They certainly did their best, and I don't think they were, you know, at any point they got really too tilted out of it. Maybe, you know, in Overpass they were panicked and that sort of thing, but you know, they tried to pull it together on Nuke. But I think at the end of the day, TUD were just the better team.
Indeed, and it showed. They were like a completely revitalised team once Extinct was back into the game, and that is the TUD that we know. Commiserations to UCD, of course, and to everyone else that took part in the tournament throughout, but TUD are going to be our champions. And of course, just before we finish up, I would like to thank our sponsor Marvin.ie for sponsoring this championship. So be sure to check them out. You can use the code ICES5 on the website if you are so inclined. And thank you as well to the Rage Studios for having us here today for the broadcast. It's been an amazing experience throughout, and as you can see,
it's a lovely stage.
It's much better than the broadcast that I do from my bedroom. So
true,
you know,
with our terribly low bit rate and
of course,
connection.
and all the problems that are associated with that as well. But we leave those in the past. I think that's the best way to do it. So from us and myself, Jason Cardinal Power and Jack Ferex Price, that's going to be all from us, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back later today at 7 p.m. for the Division 2 League of Legends Grand Final, so don't miss out and be sure to come back for that.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. It was a pleasure casting with you, Cardinal.
Of course.
It was a pleasure watching all these games, and I mean, we had some fantastic plays and that sort of thing at the tournament, so you might see a highlights video at some point. We'll see what goes on. But again, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in later on. And for all of us here at Raid and ICE, goodbye.
Jack it up. Made it out of the darkness. Elated now to finish what we started. Oh yeah. You and I, we will survive. We'll walk through the devil's fire. You and I, we will survive. We'll calm the troubled empire. Free at last, be you. Break the chains of yesterday. Free at last, be you. Break the chains of yesterday. Made it out of the darkness. Elated now to finish what we started.